Hello, guys, and welcome to the TrackMania Awards of 2025 Winners Reveal Show. I'm Luckers Turbo, and today we're gonna take a look who has won the respective categories. You had time to vote from the 7th of March up until last Thursday, which was the 19th of March. And we had a lot of people voting in the respective categories. There were 2,068 unique voters along all the categories. Of course, some categories, there were no votes from you guys. So not everybody voted for every category, but in total, there were almost 110,000 votes. That is a lot. And I'm, of course, not alone. I'm joined in by Marius, and Marius is also going to start with the first category.
Yes, hello everyone. Yeah, let's go through the results. We start with the story of the year. You will see here the 8 nominees that we had, the 5 years anniversary update with the 2v2 matchmaking update, and then also all the cheated world records that have been beaten in United Forever. Boca not making it to the World Cup, the clean sweeps in the World Cup, the last TMNF Kaki event, and Riolu's alt accounts, of course. Yummy's map that got stolen, and the Serrator weekly shorts. Those were the 8 nominees for the story of the year. And the winner
is?
are the Riolu's alt accounts. And now we can also show you the exact results. We have here a pie chart. You see that overall there were 1,929 unique voters in this category. And from these, 1,400 actually voted for Riolu's alt accounts. And then there is a nice gap to the second place, but the second place is also far ahead of the competition. So here the all cheated world records beaten in TrackMania United Forever gets also 960 votes. Some small explanation for this pie chart, because every voter had, of course, 2 votes. That means that if some nominee gets around 50% of that pie chart, it's extremely dominant. That would mean, like, if every voter uses his 2 votes, then basically everyone voted for that. So being that far up here is already quite dominant.
Yeah, so very dominant indeed. Riolu's alt accounts, Riolu's still present in 2025 and also in 2026, but all cheated world records have been beaten in TMNUF. Same story as well. I mean, this also just goes back to Riolu, the drama as well. And then we had a couple of votes here and there as well. But let's go into the next category. And if my memory serves me correct, that was also the category with the most votes. We had 1,945 votes in there. And we've had some great nominees in there as well. Marius, maybe you can scroll down a bit more, or is it only 6? Okay, no, it's only 6. Okay, my memory serves me correct. The Granadi plastic incident at Red Bull Faster. Then Schmanuel finishing Final Enigma. Virtual setting the world record on Deep Dip 1. Grave driving world record on Deep Dip 2. Virtual being the first deep slip finisher and the World Cup winning moments. And the winner here is, very surprising, the Granadi plastic incident in Red Bull Faster. And I mean, let's take a look onto results here as well. 1,548 votes for that. Then Schmanuel finishing Final Enigma just behind that with almost 900 votes. That's also a lot of votes here. I mean, also a very, very huge achievement. Then we have Deep Slip afterwards. World Cup winning moment still ahead of Deep Dip 2. And then Virtual setting the world record on Deep Dip 1 being on place number 4.
Exactly. You can also see, by the way, how many voters actually used both of their votes. If you double this, then you would end up at 3,890, but we only have 3,706 votes, so you can exactly find out how many people actually only used 1 vote in this category. All right, let's go to the next category, which is Achievement of the Year. Here we got the cheated records clean sweep in TrackMania United Island. The cheated records clean sweep generally. Then Krayun with a clean sweep as well on all the United Forever Island world records. And then Elcon's new random map challenge world record. And then also Granadi's perfect cup of the day. And at the same time also his 100th cup of the day win. Justastic also got a clean sweep in the IC Summer campaign. Schmaniol managed to finish Final Enigma, the most difficult trial that got finished now, and Virtual finishing Deep Slip. Those were our nominees. And the winner is Schmaniol, finishing Final Enigma. GG to Schmaniol. Let's check out the results.
I mean, this was also an incredible achievement, such a nice journey to follow Schmaniol there as well. We also have a video being nominated in this category very soon. But a map that someone claimed to be impossible to finish was finally beaten in 2025 by yours truly, Schmaniol. Of 100 votes, as of the 743 votes from Granadi, but that was also close for second and third position. But Virtual finishing Deep Slip as well as Elcon's RMC world record, they also got a lot of votes. Cryuna and Jestastics falling a bit behind, but still a lot of votes in this category as well. 1,910 in there.
That was a nice Discord bug for a moment.
From my side.
No, it was probably from, I don't know. Sometimes it gets disconnected for a moment. Could be my side, I don't know.
No, I think it was my side because here the internet is a bit unstable. So I'm not in Germany right now. I'm in Ireland, so it's still haunting me, right? The internet.
All right. Let's go to the next category, which is the performance of the year, standout performances in specific competitions or matches with a huge lead. We had here 8 nominees, 3 of them with Carl Jr. First of all, Carl Jr. in the Red Bull Faster semi-final, where he managed to win the 3 first maps immediately and qualified into the grand final, while every other player was still at 0 map wins. Then we had Carl Jr. with a match performance where he got 75% wins in the match versus Swifty. And the third one with him would be the Solary World Cup, of course. Other than that, we also have Elcon in the Big Yak Monthly Cup, very dominant. Then we got Epos in the XP Evo Grand Final. Then Quick in the Formula E Championship, winning 5 out of 6 races. And Scandia in the Mini RPG of the Week season final, where you have reverse cup mode and he still had basically all his points almost left, while everyone else went into last chance and got eliminated. And last but not least, also Teuflon with XP Ice and his very dominant victory there. The winner in this category is Solary, winning the World Cup with 2 clean sweep matches, 3-0 in the semi-final, and then 4-0 in the grand final. Let's check out the results, and you will see that this was, for the first time, not a dominant victory. It was actually very close. Only 31 votes differ between the Solary World Cup and the Epos XP Evo Grand Final performance. And then also the other votes, also the other nominees got quite a lot of votes. Even the 8th place has over 200 votes here.
Yeah, that's quite something, really. You guys couldn't decide really what's happening there, but Solary World Cup, I mean, Pack and Carl Jr. finally taking revenge of not winning the 2v2 World Cup in 2023. So they took it home in a very dominant fashion, so GG's to them. And let's go to the next category, which is Battle of the Year. And here we also had 8 nominees. First one is Wolsa versus Bren at the Big TrackMania Cup Grand Final. They had a very nice fight there for the victory. Schmaniol versus Flex on Final Enigma. Both kind of streamed their progress on that map, and both were close of finishing, but Schmaniol got it. I'm not sure. Did Flex actually finish the map? I think there was an incident happening with this game being lagging.
Well,
maybe you guys can tell us in the chat.
I think he just ended when Schmaniol finished.
Yeah, okay. That could be the case as well. Then the third nominee is the Kake Reloaded battle between Link, Sano, Hugo, and Semifying. Then we also have Razel versus Narcor on Pro Race A0. Scrappy versus Pack on Red Bull Faster qualifying 2. They had a very close match in there as well. Carl Jr. versus Granadi at Red Bull Faster Grand Final. Karath versus Scrappy in the Spring 2025 campaign. And last but not least, Muda versus Josh on Summer 2025 on map number 22. So let's see who the winner is in this category. Let's see who the Battle of the Year of 2025 is. Carl Jr. versus Granadi at the Red Bull Faster Grand Final. And also, let's take a look onto the votes. 1,208 votes here in this category for the winner. And then we have the Kaki battle just behind. Wolfsal versus Bren at the Big TrackMania Cup Grand Final. Also got some good votes in there. So also evenly distributed amongst the nominees in the end here. Only Razor versus Narcor did not go 3-digit, but I think Red Bull Faster was really the thing in 2025, Marius.
Indeed, we will see it quite often in this winner reveal. You see in the last 3 spots basically a campaign on Nadio track nominees here, but also getting some votes, of course. Let's go into the next category, which will be Match of the Year. The greatest matches in the regard of how close they were and how important as well. We have here the big Duo Dash consolidation final, where Scania Vosa battled against Massa and Granadi, and after losing the first map with 1-11, they made a comeback. The second map went into overtime, the third one they sniped 7-9. Then the BTC, the Big TrackMania Cup winner bracket final, where the top 12 players from the winner bracket drove against each other and only 4 moved on into the semifinals of the whole cup, where the prize money was guaranteed. Then we got the EMEA 3 grand final, which went over all 5 maps, a 3-2 scoreline in the end. Red Bull Faster Stage 2 Last Chance was of course extremely exciting. This match decided which 4 players will also go into the offline event of Red Bull Faster. We also have, of course, the Red Bull Faster Grand Final, and then the global playoffs number 2 in the World Tour, Nemesis versus Boca, which decided which of these teams is actually also going to the World Cup. XP Evo and the loser bracket semi-final, not so known. It was also only streamed on the second channel from Evo Esports.
The B-Stream, yeah.
But it was a quadruple finalist in this match with a nice comeback by Visi as well. And XP Evo consolidation final, which decided, of course, who will reach the grand final. And also this was very close with all players then partly at the same time finalist or shortly before. Yeah, the winner in Match of the Year. And there might be a pattern here. Is Red Bull Faster the grand final? Of course, we didn't really have too many grand finals in this list. So it is, of course, the most prominent one. And you will also see this in this pie chart. 1,165 people out of 1,580 actually voted for this match. And also Red Bull Faster, The Last Chance, is in second place, but closely contested with Nemesis versus Boca. And everything is then, of course, pretty close here behind.
Yeah, but just look at the gap between first and second here as well. 800 votes between those. So that's quite something. Close for second place as well. 4 votes, but every vote just got a lot of every nominee got a lot of votes in there. So it was Red Bull Faster taking it again. But let's go to the next category here as we have Match of the Year now being wrapped up.
But you're actually right, shortly. You're actually right. It's over triple the votes from this. That's crazy. Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah.
So the next one.
Now let's go to Comeback of the Year. Carl Jr. at XP Evo. He was just almost facing elimination and then making a hero comeback in there. And he was then able to also make it into the grand final. Then we had Dawn at EMEA 1 grand final, where they were 0-2 behind against Boca, and they still won it. Elcon at BYMC October. He's also nominated in there. Granadi at Red Bull Faster against Pack. And I think Afi was also in this match where I think Pack won the first 2 maps, and then Granadi was still able to make it into the final. Solary on the World Cup on the last map, they were 1-7 behind and were still able to win this map with an insane run. I think even Pack set a world record in the last round. And then last but not least, Swift in the EMEA 4 Grand Final, which was, I think, also against Boca, where they were also 0-2 behind, but then were able to close it out. Let's take a look who's going to win Comeback of the Year. And the winner is Granadi at Red Bull Faster semifinal. Well, this is quite something here, but you can also see how close it is. Only the EMEA matches are quite far behind here, but other than that, every vote or every nominee got a lot of votes in there. As Carl Jr. at XP Evo also got 670 votes, 7 votes in front of Elcon at the Big Yak Monthly Cup October. I think he joined late in that match, didn't he, Marius?
Exactly. The other drivers, or the first place drivers, were almost finalists when Elcon joined the server, and then he still managed to get 3rd place, while we had then like 20 finalists or something. He made still this comeback happen. It was quite crazy. And with the Granadi semi-final, you were referring to the grand final with Peck and Afi. In the semi-final, it was Carl winning the first 3. And then Mada won the next 2 maps, and Granadi won the last 3 to overtake Mada. And it was also
true. It was
very
4
close.
players. It was 4 players in the final. Yeah, you're correct with that. So I was mistaking that one. But yeah, there was also a crazy comeback in there. So
yeah, also deserved, to be honest. Even though it's again Red Bull Faster, but crazy, and also XP. Also, I kind of agree with some of these votes. All right. We go to the next category, which is Snipe of the Year. Overtaking right before the finish line and steal the victory away. This is what you have to do here. We got Bolle, who sniped Wasteland in the Nebula RPG Cup, and with that qualifying into the grand final. Coco sniped Granadi and denied Granadi's 100th Cup of the Day win. Then a few days later, Granadi got his win with a perfect Cup of the Day. Elcon in the BYMC April managed to keep all his 3 lives in the battle against Heath. Then Firestorm in Random MX Cup, from 9th to 1st in the finish. Also thanks to lots of fails from others, but in disbelief because I couldn't really believe what happened there. Jadon in Big TrackMania Cup, sniping Visi, I think it was, who bounced over the hole. Jadon made it directly in. Josh in the Beacon Duo League from 4th to 1st. We've seen the clip. Mother in the Big TrackMania Cup, the mother of all snipes, I would say. The full speed ending. And Gwen is ahead of Mata, but Mata, of course, abused the speed slides to his advantage, and right before the finish line, he overtook Gwen. Otak in XP Evo, where he overtook Elcon, who was in finalist. Otak was 1 round away from finalist, and he sniped Elcon right at the finish line. However, Elcon still won afterwards. Peck in the NCSA, he fell behind early, made a comeback in that round. And Scandia in the Big Duo Dash, forcing that 9-7 score where they won then against Granadi and Massa. He was 0.4 behind and still won the round against both big players. And those were the 10 nominees here in Snipe of the Year. And the winner is Mada in the Big TrackMania Cup. He got the first place here also with a good lead of over 200 votes to Coco, who sniped Granadi's 100th Cup of the Day win. And then in 3rd place comes Elcon with the Big Yak Monthly Cup April. And then the others, as you can see, are pretty close partly, especially here between 7th and 9th. But also 5th and 6th is rather close together. Yeah.
Yeah, it was also such a nice clip there from Granadi's team that he casted alongside Spam. You could really see how Muda just gained speed to Gwen there in the end. And then he got it. It was just the embodiment of a snipe, as he said, the mother of all snipes of 2025. So congratulations in there. And let's move on to our next category, or like subcategory, which is runs.
Yeah,
all right, let me publish Snipe of the Year as well. And let's go into the runs. So we firstly have the TrackMania 2020 World Record of the Year. So self-explanatory world records which were driven in TrackMania 2020. We have the AO8 record from Elcon. This map was played in Granadi's unbeaten AT challenge, and Elcon just got an absolutely insane run. Then we also have BWL Thriller from Epos, a very competitive map, and Epos drove it to almost perfection. And the deep dip run from Virtual, where you got the reactor cut, of course. It was a long grind, but a very good time in the end. And then we also have Deep Dip 2 from Jave. A lot of grinding went into this map. Then we have Kaki Reloaded 386 from Eskush 13, which was a snow Kaki map. He was so far ahead of second place. Then Muda was also hunting Nothing to Fear but Fearing Itself and just got an absolutely incredible time. Space Junks, which was the track of the day from the 1st of January of 2025. Levon got an absolutely incredible world record on there. Then the longest campaign map from summer 2025. Giuliano got a great run in there as well and was also nominated for World Record of the Year. Penultimate nomination is the live world record from Pushito Paco on two-wheeling that he set. He just beaten the other record by 0.3 of a second. And the last nomination is also on a competitive map from Letsta, who drove on Funny Purple map at Expo Evo 2025. All right, let's see what the winner is in the TrackMania 2020 World Record category. And it is the Deep Dip World Record from Virtual. GG's.
Yeah, correct. He is in first, and also Deep Dip 2 follows right behind in second place with Rave. And then we have Mada on the full speed map in third place, followed by Giuliano on the campaign map. Elcon here in the middle with fifth place. Pushti Paco actually in sixth. That's quite interesting to see. The Thriller, map by Epos, the world record here gets a seventh, and then we have the Kaki map, Let's Us Run, and 11 from the track of the day. And those are the 10.
It was just It was just such a nice grind to see Deep Dip getting pushed further and further, new strategies being discovered. And I think you guys just agreed with that. It was a nice journey to follow on Twitch, like on various streams when this was just found. So that is very cool to see. But yeah, only 44 votes for Space Junks. So that is not too much. And I think this map was also not liked. I'm not sure it was liked or disliked by most of the players, but it's definitely a very unique map and a great run from Levon. All right, let's go to the next category, which is the Classic World Records of the Year.
Yeah, I can maybe take that over. We got, of course, several world records on the Nadio tracks from TrackMania Nations Forever, such as A01 Race, of course, the very first map. Axel got a new world record here. We also have the last map, EO5 Endurance, with 60 laps to be driven, and Demon got a new world record at the end of the year. Then in Star Stadium A2, Instable got world record and beat a 13 years old other world record by 300. That is actually crazy. Of course, the map doesn't look that spectacular, but the time gain is crazy. Star Island C4 Just Whatever. Funny story about this. One day before we hosted the TrackMania Awards show, this got beaten by obviously Krayun, who is of course hunting all the, he already got world records on all the normal island maps. Maybe he's now trying to get also all the Star Island maps. We will see. But he has beaten this record right before we hosted the award show. A12 Speed, then by Logi, also A12, of course, also mega known track with the Überbug into the finish. And then we got BO5 Race by Luke Fast with an incredible barrel roll in front of the finish. D10 Race by Raiso is super impressive, has a nose bug start trick, and then let it follow up with an amazing run that has the pace of the old world records that didn't have that difficult start. Like a huge lead of 7 or 8 tenths ahead of second place. And also EO2 Endurance is also from Team NF. The long map with several overwalls where Raiso got a new world record. Additionally, we have another United world record by Virtual on Rally A3, being 500ths ahead of second. That was a very surprising world record. And District 13 is then the only non-Nadio map here by Schmaniol, RPG map by Virtual, where Schmaniol beat the old record with an extra cut, but also overall a very sick run by 5 seconds. So, the winner for Classic World Record of the Year is A01 Race by Axel. It is, of course, the most prestigious map, and that is probably the reason why most people voted for that as well. Having that world record is just worth a lot. And second place is then, interestingly, Schmaniol's run on District 13, followed up by EU5 Endurance from Demon. Then we have a small gap to the other nominees.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised here that A12 only, quote unquote, got 258 votes. And then we have the star records, both in the back, the Just Whatever run and also the Instable run, both in 9th and 10th position. But yeah, still 1,445 votes in this category, which is quite a lot. And I wonder when AO1 is getting beaten again. It just seems like we have an AO1 improvement year after year, which is just crazy to see. Maybe the Taz strat will be involved at some point, but I think like then do a double ST after. Like, I don't think so, but who knows? Who knows? We got proven wrong so many times. And let's go to the next category here. It is Cut of the Year. And here we have Before, which is a track of the day, a very, very interesting cut in there. Then CO9 Race, DO2, Deep Dip, of course, being nominated here as well. The Deep Slip Floor 18 cut from Elcon that he firstly discovered. We also have a nice reaction coming up with that, of course, as well. Then Fall 2025-24, a complete reroute of a map where you had to just use the reactor boost to your advantage. Then Summer 2025-05, the Uber bug into the ending. Supercross Country, another track of the day, as well as Tree Line. And then also the TrackMania 2 Stadium 813, where you just skip the whole freewheel block at the start and then still have to do some crazy tricks to just gain the lead in the end. So those are 10 nominees in here, and let's see who has actually won it. It is Deep Dip. We see a pattern here, guys. Deep Dip is the cut of the year with 1,000 votes
exactly
on the dot. So exactly 1,000 votes. CO9 after that, I mean, also an absolutely incredible cut, just using a task technique and just skipping the majority of the map. Just absolutely incredible. Deep Slip in there as well. And then Fall 2025-24 on 4th position.
Funnily, the 3 track of the days in the last 3 places. But here I have to say that in our Discord, where you also could write possible nominees, many people actually mentioned Treeline because it's so impressive, and it is incredibly impressive. But it only ended up 8th here because it had such a sick competition. I feel like the cuts in this year were just crazy. There were so many that I didn't include now. But these 10 are just all extremely good, in my opinion. But Deep Dip, I think it kind of deserves it. It has also the story about how high they were flying. Like, it started with an amazing world record by Rave that we also couldn't really mention here. But if you remember, Rave was flying to floor 10 and let it follow with an incredible run with another cut that was like a sick world record. But it didn't stand because then at some point, Dobsolin, I think was it, he flew to the second highest floor. Then we had the first ones that actually landed on the very top of the tower, and then in the end we even have the direct finish. Also this cut evolved, and it was basically content for several days in a row. All right, that's it with cut of the year, and now we go to TAS of the year. And here we got the 20th TaskMania edition run by Skycrafter. So this is basically a competition where TAS versus TAS, people try to find the fastest TAS. And Skycrafter won there with, like, what was 16, 17, 18 seconds, far ahead of the others. Then we have the AO1 TAS. collaborational TAS, of course, where they also use this new technique found in the AI video from Josh, and then being so fast in the end that they almost jump against the finish or even touch it a bit. The AO8
Yeah.
TAS here is now a bit different because it's TM 2020 actually, and an AO8 map. Then we have a TAS on C14. This is the 3-lap multi-lapper with this very legendary Heffest run from back in the days. Then we have D14 TAS. This is basically the super crazy nose boost TAS, also a 3-lapper. Then TrackMania United with Kimura, Desert E, just normal driving along desert map with many tricks, checkpoint bounces, tricks over anti-boosts where he gains speed, cuts, reroutes, also very nice run as well. The Art of TAS is now something completely different. It's basically a bunch of ring checkpoints over the grass, and the TAS is nose boosting through all of them. Basically, the map is built for the TAS. Then we got a TMN Pro Race A1 by Mufat, similar to D14. Sick nose boosting going on here, but again, it got beaten this week. Bias is the guy that uploaded a video with a faster time than Mufat on that map. He starts the same, but then at some point he starts doing different stuff and 1 second or so. Then we have a second Kimura TAS from an island track, and then also TrackMania NASCAR 2022 by Glitched, which is now more focused on normal driving and not on nose boosts and bugs. Yeah. And the winner from these 10 TASes here is, of course, the AO1 TAS. And it got also a quite big lead. Yeah?
I mean, this one was groundbreaking, right? That you just have another trick being found in there. Also, the 20th TASmania edition run by Skycrafter got a lot of votes in there, claiming 2nd position. D14, another collab TAS on 3rd position. Then the TrackMania 2020 TAS also got a lot of votes on 4th position. The Kimura TAS, which was one of my favorites, on P5 because it just involved normal driving and just see what the desert car is capable of doing in there. On 5th place, just 3 votes ahead of the Art of TAS, which is just a TAS-made map with a lot of ring checkpoints and tricks that you were able to do. So a lot of votes still all along, also for the lower categories, but the unique votes dropped down here quite a bit, to say the least. Only 1,121 votes in this category.
Correct. That changed now already a bit, and they also stay a bit lower, I believe, over the next few
they will go up now, actually.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Also offline events. So next category, like subcategory, is offline event of the year. We have 6 nominations in there as well. Comic-Con Baltics, of course, an event taking place in Vilnius, Lithuania. Then Out of the Blue, an event that really popped up out of the blue here as well. Fast Learn event as well. And then also with offline finals, I think that was in Tallinn, if I recall that one correctly. And then we also had Red Bull Faster, also being an event that, of course, took place online and offline. It took place in Milton Keynes and had also a prize pool of €50,000. Then we have the TrackMania World Cup, which was held at Paris Games Week with the top 4 teams. Trend on Track is also being nominated in here, a British offline TrackMania tournament, and also had a nice prize pool of €2,100. And then, of course, XP Evo being nominated in here as well. Just the community gathering from Evo and Experion in Cologne, €10,000 prize pool and multiple side events as well. And let's see who takes it home. The winner in this category is Red Bull Faster. So GG's to that, but also take a look onto that. 1,438 votes and 1,621 unique votes. That is such a dominant victory here. XP Evo comes on second place, but only 200 votes ahead of the World Cup. And then out of the blue, Comic Con Baltics and Trend on Track, not with the most amount of votes in this category.
Yeah, this is surprisingly dominant. I expected that most people actually just vote for those two, and that they basically are quite tight. But seemingly, it was often the case that people vote for Red Bull Faster and then either for XP Evo or for the World Cup. But Red Bull Faster was basically always voted for. Crazy. All right.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's crazy.
Online event of the year is the next category here.
I think, Darius, I think I can do that, and you can do regular cup, because I think you can say more about that, right? Yeah. All right, so online event of the year is our next category, and the first nomination in here is the America's Masters Season 1, which was the biggest American Cup and had a different format as well, with reverse cup mode and also a prize pool of 2,000 euro. Then, of course, we had the Beacon Duo League as well. TrackMania World Tour Duo format with a prize pool of 4,000 euro. Third nomination is the Big TrackMania Cup. Of course, Granadi hosted a very nice competition at the end of the year with a prize pool of 10,000 euro. Just different formats all along, rounds, cup mode, and multi-life KO for the ending. And also great prize pool in there. Deep slip as well. Ice, deep dip-esque map, and just a long way to climb. Just whoever finishes first gets the money, and I think top 3 got home with the money at the end. Then we had Kaki's Kaki 10, which was the last Kaki event in TrackMania Nations Forever. And there's also been Kaki Reloaded 6 in TrackMania 2020, which had a huge prize pool of 7,500 euro. 740 euro was on the line for Kaki's Kaki 10. The Nebula RPG Cup was a TrackMania 2 RPG competition by Morpio, Achepta, and also a lot of talented mappers. A lot of hours went into there, so huge shout out to them as well. We have a nomination on our list later on as well, but a prize pool of 4,000 euro was also a lot to be considered. Puzzlemania was an event that took place in Twitch Rivals and took a duo format where a TrackMania streamer got matched with a regular streamer, and they tried to create the fastest puzzle map together, which had a prize pool of $25,000. Then Red Bull Faster had the online qualification, which a hunting phase where the top 100 went into the multi-life knockouts in stage 2. And then a final knockout in the end as well that determined the top 8 players. And everybody who went into the top 100 also got 100 euro to their name. And then the TrackMania 4-hour 12 and 24-hour races also took place last year. Endurance Multilab, they were a lot of fun to follow and play as well. It's also just another community gathering in that way. And the last nomination in this category is the TrackMania World Tour, which consisted of 3 regional events, APAC, NCSA, and EMEA, and then also the 2 global playoffs to determine the 4 teams who go to the TrackMania World Cup. All right, but let's see who wins in the category Online Event of the Year. And the winner here is Red Bull Faster. I really do see a pattern in here. But if we take a look onto results, it was quite close. Only 100 votes in front of Kaki. Then Big TrackMania Cup, just 42 votes away from second position. Deep Slip on 4th position. And then there's a little bit of a gap between 4th and 5th here.
Yeah, actually the 12 and 24-hour race is a bit in the middle, in the no man's land between the top 4 and then the bottom 5 here. Yeah, we had now actually the battle between Red Bull Faster, then a tower map, something Granadi related, but Red Bull Faster prevailed still. A bit weird, they won now both online and offline actually. Yeah, happens. Let's go.
I mean, also, I really have to say that I just saw it in chat, like Puzzlemania and also Nebula RPG Cup, those events were so good to watch and follow. Maybe they did not get the spotlight that they were actually needing at the end. Maybe they were also a bit niche, but they were so good to follow and watch as well. So if you haven't done that already, like Puzzle Mania, go ahead and rewatch it. It was so entertaining.
Yeah, correct. Nice words. Also, it's of course very long ago. Was like in the beginning of the year, last year. But of course, Red Bull as well. But Red Bull people
Yeah,
still remember quite well.
just a hard category to get votes in, I guess.
Yeah. All right. We move on to the regular Cup of the year, where we had 10 nominees featuring the perfect week for myself, starting on Monday with the Big Yak Monthly Cup, followed in the evening of Monday with the Yannicks of the Week. Then on Tuesday, of course, the Ultimate Learning Cup. Wednesday is quite a lot, beginning then with Mini RPG of the Week and followed up by Survivor Cup hosted by Chakalu. And then on Thursday, obviously, we have then the Bonk Cup after Cup of the Day. And then we already moved to Friday, where Giuliano hosted the Weekly Shorts Cup. Seemingly, he's not hosting it anymore. I heard when he was streaming his reaction to the awards. Yannick's Platform Cup is also on Friday, but only once a month, using the platform game mode, where it's about having less respawns. The under 10 seconds is also Friday, but very late. Starts at 10 p.m. Has also its own like community, but also lots of players every week. And Fendurance Race also nominated now for once. On the first Sunday of each month, an endurance race. 45 minutes long, similar to the Spam Weekly, Frostbule Weekly that we had back in the days. So, from these 10 nominees, the probably expected winner here is the Bonk Cup. GG to Schenker. Yeah, let's check out the results. It's of course quite dominant, and then also a bit expected that many voters use their 2 votes for the combination of Bonk Cup and BYMC. Only some actually went to something else, so the other nominees are then all very close together. But Mini RPG of the Week is actually still 5 votes ahead of the ULC. I would also say those are now the 4 most known and big tournaments basically that happen weekly. And then the other nominees follow. Sadly, the both Yannick's ones at the back, but those are also not to be found on TrackMania news in the calendar. He still, however, gets full servers.
Yeah, just doing them for his community then, by the looks of it. So still good to see that. And I mean, all the competition here worth playing. Bonkov, of course, very hard to get onto the server if you're not a streamer. But there's plenty of good cups in TrackMania, also with new formats that we have seen, right? So that is lovely to see. And I hope that there will be more cups coming out for Marius to play in 2026. Okay, and let's go to track of the day. Yeah, I mean, this will be hard for me because I'm maybe you can say more about them, but for me, just reading out names, I think that's not just the purpose of it.
Yeah.
So I think you can say more about those maps here, Marius.
All right, so let's start. Track of the day of the year. Yeah, we got 10 nominees here with different styles. First of all, Shards of Eternity was very early in the year by Squeakle. This is a NASCAR map with stunning scenery. And then we have Fields Like Home by Jubski, also stunning scenery. And a plastic map, you can say. Map was pretty normal. Fraction by Jacob and Jubski is a grass and wood map, also combines those two. Then we have Silent Wings by Spec and Entrylag. Is like so the normal Cup of the Day standard map in full grass. Got also lots of awards. Muspelheim is very unique because of its mod. This is an ice map built by Ellipse and Tunay. And then we got VCC Showcase 14 Airborne by Vanilla Mapping. Just a very unique map with crazy scenery because everything is, of course, vanilla mapped here. Did not have the biggest karma or most awards, but was like something that stood out, so I put it in. Let's see how it actually does in the votes. Then we have Hydrocore, Kelvar, that's by Squeakle Improv. Very noticeable is in the scenery this drill. And yeah, it's a speed tech map. Then a crumpled up piece of paper by Loon is now our LOL map, first of the month. Also played in the Bong Cup. Then we have Nosedive by Mostatauner and Adnipal, which is a dirt downhill map. Also custom, not with vanilla blocks, custom made. And then we have Kaki of the Day, was also first of the month, of course. And then basically the introduction to the Kaki event that happened in November. So, the winner for Track of the Day of the Year is Shards of Eternity by Squeakle. GG. It is also on MX, the map with the most votes from these Track of the Days. So I think it also deserves it. The scenery is just crazy good. But interesting, of course, to see the positions otherwise. We have Kaki of the Day in second place here, followed by Muspelheim. And then comes Fields Like Home by Chupsky, and the LOL map in the middle here on fifth place, followed by Nosedive. And to my surprise, Hydrocore Kelvar is only seventh in the votes. That I expected further up. Then the VCC Showcase map managed to get 122 votes and gets 8th place in front of Silent Wings and Fraction.
But still very evenly distributed here in this category. I have to say that only 1/3 of the unique voters, roughly, went for Shards of Eternity by Squeakle. But congratulations to Squeakle, of course, winning with his map, the Track of the Day of the Year. And let's move on to the next category, which is Competitive Map of the Year. We start off the things with Agrippina from Roxy, which was played at XP Evo. Just a very nice map, like great scenery. Roxy always goes the extra mile on his map. I think also it was Kölsch in 2024, if I recall that correctly, or Schwartlappe, one of those maps that he has created, which was just very, very nice to see as well. And also Bubblegum is a nomination on the list here from Envidum. Very cool map to see as well. Then the 24-hour map, Kingslayer by Poupette and Wizzy has also been nominated in this category. And then we wanted to put in one World Tour related map as well, which is Sideswipe by Vixa. Also provided us with some insane rounds and was just, I think, liked by the players. It was seen quite a lot. Snack Attack by Wizzy is our next nomination on the list. It's a very creative map where the Dorito blocks, or the Dorito as itself, being imported as an item in TrackMania. And Wizzy made great use of that, creating rams, just unique blocks, and this one has been tailored into the map. Splash by Wizzy, Clear Vision, and Histo was used at Red Bull Faster. A very nice map as well, with beautiful scenery. Thriller by Kerberos is also a map that we have nominated on this list. This map was, of course, played in the Beacon Duo League. And our last nomination is Underground by Squeaky and Vixa. And this one was played in the Bayerische Duo Dash.
And yesterday.
And let's see who. and yesterday. Yeah, true. And yesterday. Marius, I think you are quite happy about that one. But let's take a look who is going to win a competitive map of the year. The winner is Splash by Wizzy, Clear Vision, and Histo. And also here we see a pattern. Red Bull Faster prevails once again. 40 votes ahead of Kingslayer by Poupette and Wizzy, which was the 24-hour map, of course. And then also, surprisingly, because a lot of people said to you, Roxy, why don't we nominate him as Mapper of the Year? But both XP Evo maps on last position.
Yeah, to me also a bit surprising that both XP Evo maps are so far back, because many players, of course, played them, while some of the other maps are only played by a few players that are playing in the World Cup or attend a LAN like the Baltic Duo League. But yeah, also generally you see it here also in the pie chart. It's pretty similar, pretty like nothing is dominant here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, like
Yep.
all the maps are awesome here.
Yeah, definitely.
On
Of course. That's why they are nominated.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, already being nominated here is just a huge honor because there's so many competitive maps. There's so many maps as well. It was just so hard to just filter out every map that is just on TMX, and I think map was probably one of the hardest category to work with. And for that, I also want to give a huge shout out to Vixa, of course, who helped us tremendously of just finding a starting point in this list and yeah, just trying to discuss about maps because we, of course, are not mappers ourselves. Of course, we have opened the editor at some points. We have played and also casted competitions, but this was one of the hardest categories for us to do. So thank you very much, Vixa, for helping us along.
And with that, we are moving to the next category, which is RPG and Trial Map of the Year. And here we had actually 12 nominees, and 12 was probably not even enough. You could even add so many more maps. It's crazy how the community cooked. The top 6 awarded maps in TrackMania 2020 Mania Exchange are all RPG maps, and all these 6 maps can be found here in the list, which is Animus Project was one of them, then Darakun, Frostguard Citadel by Roquette, then also Pylos by Surtalion, Red Rock Redemption by Saphiron and Laku, and the most awarded map was Skyward, an Angel of the Blade by Zeeks. We also had 2 nominees outside of TM 2020, that being Plexia Loom Neon Chrome by Simo, which is a TMNF map, a very, very difficult trial, but got already finished by 3 or 4 people. And the track Merfiol by K6 and Fosse. This map was played in the TrackMania 2 Nebula RPG Cup. Other than that, we also, of course, had to include Deep Slip here by Burlypock and also many more. We included Hole in One, a very interesting mini golf type map. And then also Marchi's Multiverse, which got released and had also a hunting competition for a week. And last but not least, there is also Quack 100 by Bacon Patroller, a trial map that is a bit easier and yeah, well to finish for everyone. Those are the 12 nominees, and the winner out of these is Deep Slip by Burlypock and more.
I mean, I think this one is like everybody will be like, yeah, this is good or this will be bad. Like there's no in between, I guess, because I think a lot of people just put so much effort into those maps and just build them. It's like sometimes a multi-year project to release an RPG map, and all of those maps are just absolutely incredible. I've seen most of those maps myself. I mean, I was not that active in streaming, but I've seen most of them on YouTube, and I think Deep Slip just stick to our head the most in 2025, and that's why it got the most votes. And yeah, GG's to that. 657 votes. Magi's Multiverse 320, so less than double the votes from first position. But then it got quite close for second and third, just roughly 30 votes in between. And then the vote just dropped quite a bit, but a nice group between fourth and ninth here. And then we have 3 maps below 100 votes in here as well.
Yeah, interestingly, Skywarden is a bit further back here because usually had the most awards. And yeah, I think that these RPG maps also have it more difficult in this category because you don't directly remember maybe or how was Darakun looking like or this map. But everyone knows exactly what Deep Slip is. So it's and it sticks out as well between many RPG maps. Something like a tower map sticks just out, so it makes sense that it gets a few more votes here. All right, let's check out what the next category is. It is Unique Map of the Year. I think I take that over.
Yep, go for it.
We have another 10 nominees here. This category basically features just everything that doesn't fit into Track of the Day, competitive or trial RPG. Could have named it also other maps of the year, but that sounds a bit shit, right? So yeah, most of them,
No
however,
cursing on stream here. No cursing on stream.
That's true. That's true. Thanks. But yeah, most of these maps are, however, also very unique, and it was also very interesting to watch. I watched all of these streamer reactions, especially with one nominee here. I was very interested how many votes it gets. But yeah, let's start with the Christmas calendar project or Advent calendar project ACP map. Christmas Heist by the Truss and Whiskey, which is a quite of RPG map as well, where you have a camera from the outside, and then you have to drive with it, and you have lots of moving items and blocks to get through the map. Very cool. Then we have Clusterfog by Vixa. This map is a full speed stunt map, so lots of flips and so on that you have to do. Looks like a PF map, but you actually have to drive it. Then we have Collapsing Gravity, which is now less known since it was only built for a competition where the goal was to not use any single block twice in the map. And if you just watch the map, you wouldn't realize that this theme was actually followed. And then we have this very interesting nominee, Dahl Shooter by Arupiana and Kobrask in TrackMania United Forever, using the TrackMania Unlimiter, which has very strange options. Arupiano actually hosted a tournament on one day, like a one-day tournament with multiple maps, where he abused the TrackMania Unlimiter. I haven't played it myself, but most of these maps were crazy, and this was one of them. But yeah, here you were shooting cars to enemies. Basically, it was a shooter game that you did, and they played it in rounds mode. Yeah, then we have Elevators. This is now one weekly shorts map. A bit bad with the video because you don't see the cool scenery that this map had. It had this elevator, of course, in the Nadio building. Then Kaki PF Loaded 6 by Nebula, a very cool press forward, back, left map, which included 21 Kaki tricks from the current Kaki season. Very creative press forward map. Mission Skyfall was also unique, but due its meteor tracker, it already has a very long intro. And then also the race itself is very interesting, where you try to overtake other cars. Then we have the very long full speed map, Nothing to Fear But Fearing Itself by Ski Freak and more. We have also Slendermania, also a very unique map, of course, by Moss and Adnepal. And then a Sano of the week map, Super Skippity Bros. This is a map that has like 2 awards on MX. I included it. You will see how many votes this got.
Maybe more than 2.
The winner is, out of those nominees, Kaki PF Loaded 6 by Nebula. The PF map actually won here, and I think that's pretty fine, but it is close. Nothing to Fear But Fearing Itself by Ski Freak and others is also just 14 votes behind. And Super Skippity Bros made the podium here. And then followed by the shooter map by Arobiano and Kobrask. Other than that, we have also still other maps very close together here in the votes. And in last place, not so surprising, I guess, because not really that known, Collapsing Gravity by Max Chess. But also got 86 votes still.
Yeah, almost 89, Marius. Almost. Almost in there. Almost safe. But yeah, very close in this category as well. I mean, 14 votes between first and second. That is quite something. And also quite surprising that Sano's map got third position, but it was just so good to see. I think the clip also then played a vital role, and that the map is from Sano. But guys, if you haven't played I don't even know how the shooter map works. I think no one does. Like, if you spectate, it looks so bizarre. So make sure to watch that as well, or maybe even play it yourselves. I think you need TrackMania Unlimited for that in order to play it. But those are our winners in this category. And let's move on to the next category, which is the campaign of the year. And here we also have 8 nominations in. And the first one is the Horizons 2025 campaign, which was featuring 25 tracks, and they designed to blend in modern gameplay with styles reminiscent of the TrackMania 2023 Nadio official maps. The second nomination is self-explanatory: Mario Kart 8 one-to-one remakes of Mario Kart 8 maps in TrackMania by Loco. The third nomination is Mini Golf by Avarios. I mean, Avarios is known for building very short maps, but here he went all the way out and just created a mini golf campaign in TrackMania. Very fun to play as well. And yeah, make sure to try this one out as well. Then we have a different nomination from TrackMania Nations Forever, which is a nostalgic campaign that refers to Top Yannick's Lunatic Extreme campaign, which was released in 2010. Nitro went the extra mile and created maps that are quite similar to that, and that is also very good to see. The next nomination is Project Synergy, which was also a very, very huge campaign with 49 creators from 5 different mapping teams working on a 16-map campaign. And high-quality themed maps have been released in there that just incorporated every style in there and every surface. So this one also was second in the Creative Project of the Year in the User Choice Awards on TMX. Then we have the Retro Nova campaign by Arian. Arian released an old-school TrackMania campaign that consisted of 15 maps. This one was also streamed and played a lot. Our penultimate nomination is also from TrackMania United, or TrackMania Nations, as one could say, which is a community-made campaign in TrackMania United, which was released after 3 years of work. So it's the successor of the Star Trek campaign. That's why it's called Star Trek 2, and was created in collaboration with Nadeo. And it also consisted of platform, puzzle, and stunt maps, as well as, of course, the race maps itself. And the last nomination in here is the Yes and campaign, which is a campaign that adds a new rule for each of the progressive maps. So those are our 8 nominations in this category. And the winner is Mario Kart 8 by Loco. I think this one was played and loved by a lot of you guys as well. Mini Golf by Avarios, not too far behind, with 470 votes as well. Then Project Synergy on third position. Yes and Retro Nova, Horizons 25, Star Trek, and Nitro's Lunatic Extreme are behind. But here again, both non-TrackMania 2020 campaigns in last position, sadly.
Yeah, sadly to be expected. But of course, also amazing campaigns, as especially the Star Trek 2 is a very big thing, and this Lunatic Extreme campaign also looks amazing because the original is like so legendary as well.
Yep.
Let's move on to the next category, Competitive Mapper of the Year. Maybe also something for you.
Yeah, I mean, here we can probably just read out the names, and I think it's hard to just go in depth of what everybody has built. So our first nomination on the list is Casitas. Then we also nominated Link, who has been building a lot of competitive maps in 2025. Mime. Then we have Rocat, who has won the User Choice Awards and got first place in RPG Mapper of the Year. Then we have Thune as well, who won first place in the Competitive Mapper of the Year section at the User Choice Awards. Dixa is also on our list, as well as Whiskey and Wizzy. Wizzy won the first position in Endurance Mapper of the Year. So those are 8 nominations on the list, and the winner here is Link.
Correct. Link won here, but it's rather close with Wizzy, Only a 35 votes gap between them. Vixar is then in third place, and then comes Whiskey, and look at this. Whiskey, Mime, and Roquette are basically almost equal. Only one vote here between Mime and Roquette, especially. Tune won the User Choice Awards for Competitive Map of the Year, but here only in 7th. And then Xedos sadly here in last, not getting all too many votes.
Yeah, so 1,208 votes in this category, but 34 votes for Xedos. Of course, not too much, but it's a huge, like, it's already a huge achievement to be nominated here. I think we could just extend the list by like 20 mappers because there have been so many good competitive maps in 2025. There have been also a lot of new mappers coming into the scene, as well as for the next category, which is of course only mapper of the year. And here we also have 8 nominations. I'm just gonna read out the names now. I think this will be a bit easier. Our nominations are Jobski, Ellipse, Key, Link Again, Ryuganji, SQLC, Squeagle, and Thune. And the winner for Mapper of the Year is Link. Back to back, Link. Congratulations to you. Link just is the goat of mapping, as he has also gotten 589 votes in this category here. So a lot of votes went into Link's account here. Squeagle on second place, not too far behind, 103 votes, and then Jobski on third position. And then there's a huge gap between third and fourth.
Yeah, indeed. Link almost getting half of the votes, you can say, also from the unique voters. Squeagle Chapsky also not far off, and then the other 5 nominees here behind, with Thune, SQLC, Ellipse, Key, and Ryuganshi. Let's move on to the next section of creations. And our first category here is the Creative Project of the Year, where we had also 10 nominees. Firstly, the Community Weekly Shorts that came out and also weekly and were hunted also by several streamers. There was also a competition at some point with Multi-Life Knockout on these maps. And then we have Deep Slip Sector Run by Teuflo, Mika, and Schmaniol. So not a task, everything there was driven, but only in segments. Those segments then put together, reaching an incredible finish time for that whole tower map. And then we got eCircuit Mania, very good website, where you can also make your bets on how the positions will be in several tournaments. We have Envy Mix Turbo by Big Bang. Yeah, amazing project by him. In TrackMania 2, you are now able to play all the 200 TrackMania Turbo maps with every single car, plus also a car that is not even released. That's crazy. Then we have the 100K project. That's a huge thing that went over many, many years, took long to render. But the outcome was, of course, amazing. A video with 100,000 cars driving a map. Then TrackMania Revolt by TrackMania Research and Development. Many people I saw in those streamer reactions thought it has to do with the Revolt where Riolu was involved or something, but no, this is something completely new, and it's like in the oldest TrackMania version. When you look at the editor there, it looks like the oldest TrackMania. And they created then this whole car, the blocks, scenery, and looks very cool as well. We have TrackMania Blender by Crispy Cheese and Kobrask, which is also a very helpful tool when you do something with Blender. I'm not so much into that. TrackMania Highlands, I am more into that because this is a community-made environment. Completely new environment, new car with its own physics. That's the community basically created. And we also had a few competitions on it. TrackMania Mapping Document is an 80 or 90 sites long document about mapping and all that stuff. That's actually a crazy thing to have, especially for new mappers. And Turbo Ladder by FutureCat, where you can now see all the records from TrackMania Turbo from the maps. Can look what are the best PC times, the best PS4, Xbox times, and who drove it as well. You get all that information now. Yeah, and the winner out of these 10 nominees here is the Deep Slip Sector Run by Teuflum, Mika, and Schmaniol. GG. Here you see the results, and it is rather close. 101 vote ahead of the Community Weekly Shorts, and that is also very close together with the 100k project. And then we have a small gap. eCircuit Mania and the Envy Mix Turbo by Big Bang are then also not all too far away from each other. And then we have another small gap to the next 5 nominees.
Yeah, so the Deep Slip Sector Run is also winning here, or Deep Slip winning here as well. Probably being the most popular thing that is on there, but of course a lot of like insane projects have been released or has been like continue working on 2025 and 2025. The 100k project being one of them. Still getting third position, of course. I thought that this is going to win it before the awards actually launched, but still good to see it in the top 3, of course. And let's move on to the next category, which is a meme of the year. Yeah, should we describe the meme? How should we do it, Marius? Or should we just read them out and just watch the winner? I think we can just...
we watch the winner then.
Yeah. Okay, so the nominations here are the 100k Projects Find a Render meme, Morning Routine by Edge, Nadeo tagging the wrong Twitter accounts, Plasto-chan, Riolu Spotify playlist, Riolu was innocent, Schmaniol Twitch partner, the TrackMania World Tour 2025 experience, TM music, and XP Evo meme. But guys, if you want to see all of those memes as well, they're on the website. We immediately publish the results. So if you don't know anymore what kind of nomination that was, that maybe didn't win, then go ahead and check it out there. But the winner in this category is... Riolu was innocent.
Yeah, and it is also ahead of the second Riolu nominee here with the Spotify playlist. And then we have Schmaniol's Twitch partner in third position, followed by the TrackMania World Tour experience, and then Nadeo taking the wrong Twitter accounts actually managed to get 5th place in this category. Yeah, then the 100k Project Final Render meme, Plasto-chan, everything is pretty close together here again. The XP Evo meme, to be honest, it was a bit difficult for this meme because the streamers that were watching the TM Awards and were doing their votes, they sadly were not able to open that. Like also other things, they had to mute the music, but here you couldn't even watch it. The meme is also really cool. It's really funny, but here you had to hope that people watch it themselves then in order to vote. It still got some votes, but maybe it would have been higher if streamers would be able to watch it. The Morning Routine by Edge, probably it just needs more context so that you understand it. And if you don't have the context, then obviously you cannot really vote for it. And the TM music also needed a bit of context, but yeah, got also still 95 votes here, of course.
Yeah, should we watch it or?
Yeah, now let's go on to details, and here we can see the meme.
Gimme guy. So this is in repo, of course. It's a different game. Spam losing it. So you like small explanation here maybe. So you could either you had proximity chat, but you could also type, and then the semibot, that's how the character is called, just speaks it out. And it speaks it out differently when you like small. So that's why the voice was like that. So that one won. Of course, not related to TrackMania as a game, but to TrackMania as a meme. So that's why it's nominated in this category at first. And let's move on to the next category, which is Plugin of the Year.
Correct. I wanted to say Ryulu still winning even in 2025 and 6. But yeah, we have 6 plugins here that were mostly new in the game and came out in 2025, also with one exception. The Better Matchmaking by Matrix and Nixotica. And then we have the Copium leaderboard. We have a leaderboard, of course, of the copium times from all the players. We have the One Life challenge. A special challenge basically where you lose the run in that moment when you respawn. And otherwise it's similar to Random Map challenge, but you cannot allow yourself to respawn, then the run is over. So you have to always decide, do you look first with camera 7, how the track goes, but then you won't get a good time and not so many good points, or do you go for it and hope to survive? Then we have the Proximity Chat by Xertrov, was especially also used in an RPG event between some streamers on one of the RPG maps. We have the Random Map Challenge update, so here an update by Creep and Fort TM, and then we have also TM RPG by Naxandria. And the winner for Plugin of the Year is the Proximity Chat by Xertrov. And here the results.
GG's. Also 650 votes for that. I think also here it was quite hard for us to just figure out like what plugin to nominate. I think we went by just downloaded and trending, if I recall it correctly. And yeah, of course, Proximity Chat was released, I think, with the RPG streaming event, if I recall it correctly, or there was where it got popularized. And then, of course, RMC also got an update, and with that, also 529 votes in there as well. And yeah, every nomination here got quite a lot of votes, of course, but the unique votes went down a little bit again.
But now we go to the videos.
Yeah, let's go to the videos indeed. Also here we had some very good nominations, 8 to be exact. And the first one, or the first 2 ones, being from Yosh, where he took us on a journey of how AI has broken the world record on AO1 and has also found a new trick on this map. Then the second AI video is also from Yosh, of course, which is exploiting a glitch in the racing game, which was the nose boost. And the third nomination is, of course, another one from Riolu based, which where Riolu and just a whole team of researchers put together the pieces of the cheating scandal ever since in 2021 and just unveiled a mysterious player that appeared on the top of the leaderboard. The fourth nomination is how Schmanuel beat the world record on District 13, a map from Virtual. And this record has also been nominated, of course. The next nomination is the Summer Update 2025, where TrackMania turned 5. This is a very nice trailer, very nostalgic, where we celebrated the 5th birthday of TrackMania 2020. The next nomination is the quest to beat Final Enigma, where Schmanuel takes us again on a journey, where he just tells us how he was able to beat Final Enigma. Also a very good video. And the penultimate nomination is the one-to-one translation was "This monster has dominated his game for over 10 years" by B-Hop. It was a story about the legacy from Carl Jr. And last but not least, the 100K project by La Bomba, Denix, and Richard, where they finally put it together after 9 years of work. 100,000 replays on one TrackMania map. And the winner here is Exposing TrackMania's Biggest Con Man by Virtual. I mean, this one also had a bittersweet taste to it. Hopefully we can finally call it just a day with it, and we are done with this topic. Hopefully.
Yeah, it got lots of votes, 1,078 votes, followed by then an AI video. Interesting is how the AI videos against each others were doing. We have the video on the A1 map in second place, but the other video is actually only fifth, where he did the nose boosts with the AI. Otherwise, we have the quest to beat Final Enigma by Schmanuel in third place, and the 100k project, sadly only 210 votes.
Yeah.
But still fourth. But yeah, this could have been a bit more. Unsurprisingly, the summer update was here in last. We also forgot one video. We will mention it when we are through the winners reveal. The stream will continue. There are some honorable mentions, and one video was actually forgotten in this list that could have been added. Yeah, any more to say to this category?
I mean, just great videos have been released,
Yeah,
and I
of
cannot
course.
wait to 2026. Trailer of the year, I think, is also a very good just transition to that, because there's one trailer that has been nominated in here, and I hope this video comes out from beta in 2026.
Yeah, that's true. You speak, of course, of the second nominee here, the Carl Jr. video, where Beta made some teaser on Twitter, but we haven't seen this video yet. And no, it should not be the other Carl Jr. video. It's not the same. This must be something else. We will see if it comes. Otherwise, besides this teaser, we had this hype trailer for the TrackMania World Cup. A storm is coming with Massa and Granadi. Very epic. Also for this category, also most of these trailers are amazing, are super epic, but of course you need sound in most of them. And sadly, the streamers that made the reactions here could not really use the sound in most of these nominees, because it had copyright music. That was a bit sad, because the sound makes them so cool, so hyped. But yeah, the third nominee here is the Nebula RPG Cup. Then we had a bit of a different trailer with Red Bull Faster. Then for the two races, the 12-hour race had a trailer that was epic. The 24-hour race was also very unique again. And then we got also the TrackMania games trailer that was pretty late, and of course goes about a competition that we recently had in 2026. And we have also the map pack reveal video here from XP Evo 2025. And the winner of these 8 trailers is the TrackMania Games trailer. GG. Actually, Red Bull Faster for once not winning, but it was close. Almost.
16 votes.
Almost Red Bull Faster was winning again, but nope, this time only the second place TrackMania Games trailer is winning here. And in third place, also that was very contested. The big World Cup hype trailer right in front of TrackMania for hours 24. And then also another battle between those two. And then also another battle between the last two. Also we have basically 4 battles here in the votes.
Yeah. Battle of the year, Marius. Write it down.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, TrackMania Games trailer won it there. And of course, amazing trailers there. Just all along. And then Nebula RPG Cup falling down, maybe because this event just didn't get that much traction, but still 99 votes. Very good to see that as well. And let's move on to the next category, which is Round of the Year. So this is our next one. Let me quickly also publish the results from the others. So yeah, this does work. Wait, it's Round of the Year. Wait, why is funny rounds here? Yeah, that was. Yeah, maybe Marius, maybe you can do that.
Let's begin here. All right. Also, we have 10 nominees in Round of the Year. Here we focus on good rounds, also where it's close throughout the whole round and decided by just a small margin, but not necessarily being sniped. Yeah, the first one is Afi versus Pack and Spam in Red Bull Faster semifinals. Pack and Spam were both in last chance, and Afi managed to beat both of them in a close round. and with them knocking them both out and winning the map. The second nominee is Carl Jr. In his comeback at XP Evo in the match against New Prime and Letzter, he was fighting against 2 finalists and managed to beat them. All 3 players finished within 1.5 hundredths of a second. Crazy round. Then we have also a Cup of the Day round with 8 players, so a top 8 round, but second to 8th place to the elimination, they were within 300ths, and overall every player within 1 single tenth. It was back and forth in that last turn alone. Was crazy. We have Insalan, the grand final. Battle for second place, of course, quite important here. Lots of prize money on stake, and it was also decided by just 100, with Neiko winning this round. Then we have last round of the Red Bull Faster Grand Final. Obviously, yeah, okay, you could expect something already here. Nemesis versus Boca, the loser bracket final, last round on Sideswipe. That was deciding this map in the favor of Nemesis, who had to ace as they were 7-9 down in the score, and they managed to ace against Boca, and all 4 players were extremely close together. Pack versus Granadi, another Red Bull Faster nominee here, which is a bit different because it was not about how close they were on the track. Pack actually had a lead from like 2500ths, which means that Granadi had to beat Pack by a 2500ths, and that was just so close. Then it was very deciding in the final as well, in the whole grand final. Otherwise, Granadi maybe wouldn't have made it into the 1v1 against Carl Jr., but Pack would be there instead. Paco versus Tween at the Beacon Duo League was also a battle between, will it be an ace for Nemesis or can it be denied by Tween? That went also next to each other into the finish line. Swift versus Wild. Small story for this one. We actually haven't showed you that nominee in the award show. We forgot about that one, and I added it later. Because of that, we maybe have a look at it. What we actually didn't show. It is similar to the Boca versus Nemesis clip, the same map, and an even crazier ending, you could say. We have a 9-9 between Swift and Wild, and it's decided by 100. Let's look into it.
Oh, what a turn by Jan, and New Pride moves up in the first. It's anyone's to win right now. Who wants to take it? Who gets the best ending? New Prime! It's an ace! Wild wins the map! What just happened?
With
what
a tie,
round.
and then
That's
Epos
so
100
important.
behind.
They dead tied to the 2 teammates. 100.
And New Prime sadly failing the end.
Yeah, otherwise it would be 4 players within 100 probably. As a crazy round as well. Just wanted to show you that as well. And then we have Wild versus Big in the EMEA Tournament 8 Grand Final, which was of course also a very important map win here for Big. And it is a round that ended also in a tie between Granadi and one of the opponents. And Granadi actually won that battle, and with that, Big actually won the map. And in the end, also the whole tournament. Yeah, so from these 8 nominees, the winner is the last round of the Red Bull Faster Grand Final. Can you believe it? Incredible.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way. It won. Oh, it even has a strong lead. That's crazy. 762.
Didn't expect that.
Yeah. And second place, Red Bull Faster Finals, Pack versus Granadi. Interesting. And then we have Carl Jr. versus Letzter and New Prime in 3rd position, followed by Red Bull Faster semifinals. I see here Afi, Pack, and Spam. Okay. Yeah, and then comes the rest.
Yeah, Nemesis versus Boca, the loser
It's
bracket
so
final.
crazy. This is such a crazy
Yeah.
round. It could be
This was so
actually
important.
higher. Yeah, but Cup
Yeah,
of the Day.
just so many good rounds.
Cup of the Day made
Yeah.
it into 6th. It was not last. You could have thought it would maybe end up behind, but no. Did well. Of course, Swift versus Wild was added a bit later, so maybe some of you didn't see or notice it then, so it could have had maybe a few more votes here. Insalan sadly then behind here, even though that's of course also an important round.
Yeah.
All
All right, let's go to the next category. Which
shall
is
we actually
funny.
show the winner?
Yeah, we can.
For those clips here. Yeah, I mean,
we can watch.
Gennady has not won
Trauma.
a map by 1700ths in this final,
Oh,
in
no.
this showdown. He was being in the position to do it because Carl messed up a corner. The question is, can Gennady find it? 2/10 between him and Glory. For Carl, all he needs to do is be Mr. Consistent. All he needs to do is hold the line. Gennady looking down his first major title. And Carl makes a mistake. Gennady takes off. 2/10 ahead, his advantage now as he comes through the checkpoint. 2.5. It's what he's enough. Carl, can he fight back? He's done it so many times before into the dirt jump. Now through the bobsleigh. It's 3/10 now for Gennady. The German can taste it on the cusp of victory. Gennady now has half a second.
Low speed.
Carl, is he going to be able to catch us back up? As you say,
Guys, what is going to happen? I don't know.
But Carl does have more speed coming through this corner. And
How is this round of the year?
Gennady now looking for the drift towards the right.
I don't
They are
know.
so far away from
Gennady's
each other.
Gennady's winning, right?
A couple of corners between him and Glory. A final couple of corners. One jump between him and victory.
Got GG.
Gennady sees it.
GG's.
The trophy.
Oh,
What?
Unstoppable, indomitable. It's Carl Jr. in the final moments that claims
Oh,
the
well.
trophy.
Can't believe it.
I can't believe it, guys. I can't believe it. All
Let's
right,
move
next
on.
category. Funny round of the year.
Oh god,
We
I
started
have
with-
to actually scroll even further here.
Yeah. So we have 2 nominations from the Big TrackMania Cup to start off things. We have the winner bracket final where everyone was crashing. Everybody was in finalists. And there was one more spot up for grabs. And everybody just kept on crashing. It was just so chaotic. And yeah, this was definitely a round that will still stick into my head for like a very long time. Then also in the winner bracket final, everybody crashed there as well. I think it was then Elcon winning it or Muda? One of them crashed the ending, but it was also pure chaos happening there. Like I think 5 or 6 players crashed in this round as well. Then we have the Comic-Con Baltic round, not a very significant round, but every player on Wizzy's map just crashed and didn't make anything happen. I think Letsta and Elcon just threw it away there. But I think they still won the map. Then the Cup of the Day final between Carl Jr. and Shark, where Shark crashed after Carl Jr. has also crashed. Carl Jr. then won the Cup of the Day. Then we have the Cup of the Day final between Nitek and Caporali on a snow car map, where both failed the ending. And yeah, it was just who gets into the finish first. Then the Cup of the Morning round from Birdie's POV, where he was casting the top 3, and all of them crashed there as well. Wake up, wake up. I just have to think about that one. Then another clip from Birdie, where he also played a Cup of the Morning on a Minecraft-themed map in a Minecraft skin. Also, the player that he played against had a Minecraft skin as well. I think it was a Silverfish. Then the first round of the EMEA 3 tournaments, where everybody else crashed, or everybody crashed in there as well. And the Formula E slideouts where rain unfolded onto the track and everybody just slid out and everybody crashed into the wall. That was also quite something. Then we have 2 nominations from the Magi Monday qualifiers, both from the final round, Baupro versus Gennady, both having to respawn multiple times. Gennady fell behind quite a bit at the start, but then was able to catch up due to Baupro's mistakes as well. But Gennady also respawned, I think, twice in this round. Then another Magi Monday round between Hill and Walligan, where both like also just made so many mistakes. And keep in mind, in those Magi Monday qualifiers, only the first person going through and we play a knockout. So the stakes were quite high. And the last nomination is the Spammy of the Day on a bobsleigh themed map where both players in who were in last position just landed on their roof and tried to slide into the ending. So that was a very funny double fail. Also made it very, very nice with Spam's reaction in there. So a lot of nominations on this list here. And let's take a look who's going to win it. It is the big TrackMania Cup winner bracket final where everybody was just crashing. And I was referring to it beforehand. Let's just watch it, right?
Yeah, let's watch it before we
Yeah.
go deeper into. In my opinion, it is also deserved because we had the 12 best players here of the cup, and literally everyone crashed out of these.
Between, everyone up to 8 still has a very realistic chance.
Okay.
Oh, we see!
I was the other
what's
round,
Epos
always.
doing? Epos going for the Beyblade. Bren full face planting the rock here. The barrier. The 4 players are already out of the race. But Vosal and Mara are still there.
Oh, what's the other
And
one,
so does
actually?
Elkon. Where does Elkon come from? Oh, Vosal got the nose slide! No! He got the nose slide.
My.
He failed the Neo slide. Or I don't know what he's going for there. But yeah, that is a full bonk.
Night Tech is upside down.
Oh.
Alfie is in trouble.
Neon gets so many crashes this round. What an absolute chaos. Elkon is alive. Neon is alive. But that is basically it. Nico in third, however. But Nico doesn't... Oh, nein! Nico is also in the mud. Neon is also in the mud. Is anyone making it? Elkon is failing it. Oh my god.
Also, how likely is it that from these 12 players, literally nobody survives? It is very nice. Yeah, this was this round. The other one was when they were finalists. But yeah, that's a crazy round. And now let's check the results before we forget that. It won with 507 votes. Second place is the Spammy of the Day funny double fail. There were 335, followed by the Minecraft final. So Birdie here with a podium. Then the final between Cartoony and Shark makes the 4th place. The other Big TrackMania Cup round is in 5th. And then Nighttech versus Kappa Riley in 6th place. Comic-Con Baltics in 7th. And the Magi Monday final between Baupro and Granadi on 8th. Then we have the Formula E slide-outs. Cup of the Morning, top 3. Then the EMEA 3 Grand Final. And then the other Magi Monday final between Böll and Valegen. Let's go to Fail of the Year, guys. Are you still there, Torbo? I guess I continue for now. The nominees here, we have 10 nominees, that being Bren during the Big TrackMania Cup, where he had a huge lead to Vosal.
Hello?
Ah, now you're there? Yeah.
Okay, I think my internet...
All right. Yeah, I continue with fail for now.
Yeah.
Also, Bren made the big mistake when he was like 10 seconds in the lead against Vosal when they were both only in the 1v1. And that fail meant that Bren had to go into the last map and still had to do one map change and beat Vosal on a map where he was not as dominant. Made it very exciting, and if he lost that final, this would have been a huge fail. A Hendo is a funny clip where he just forgot where to go and drive somewhere else than everyone else. Then Lars Type 1 is a fail where Mother, also it's basically a karma fail. Mother said Lars Type 1 because Lars died in a certain section on Deep Slip. And after saying that, Mother just died himself as well. Then Massa fails the risky ending at XP Evo and is knocked out because the other finalists behind him then took the win that Massa would have had. GG's to Germany, basically, reinvented. Then we have Naiko not winning Insalan. Imagine you are dominating the grand final on a LAN event, and you are 1 pixel away from winning this LAN, but you actually didn't trigger the finish. That is a crazy fail, and one that probably hurts a lot. Samifying falling all the way from almost the top of the double dip tower down into the snake, like the perfect fall, basically. Hard to believe that someone falls inside the tower so far. Then we have Spam receives the PayPal from Granadi, which is the Red Bull Faster last chance, where Granadi's touch made Spam survive 1 more round, which then ended up in Mime not making it. Then we have Sano not finishing Kaki Reloaded, also hurts a lot to see, where he bounced off several finishes on one of the 2 tracks that were missing for him in the Kaki event. Virtual with a true Bonk Up experience is then more like a funny clip again, where he made multiple mistakes at the ending of a Bonk Up map. And Yannick's in the Big TrackMania Cup was funny because you could really see that he couldn't decide between left and right. Should I go risky or should I go safe? Nah, then I go straight into the pole instead. Yeah, those were the 10 fails here. And there is, also I can tell you guys, before I reveal it, for me, the last place should have been the winner. And I'm absolutely gutted how it is last. Also, this is something that I cannot understand. For me, this is the most impactful fail of the year. But let's first say who won. The winner is Last Type 1 by Mada. This is fail of the year, which also is a massive surprise to me. Not gonna lie. It is ahead of the fail from Granadi that's made Spam survive in Red Bull Faster, and Samifying is in 3rd place, very close with Sano's Kaki not finish. But look at last place. Naiko not winning Insalan is last. To be honest, I would have just switched around 1st and 10th here, and it would be fine. That's very strange.
Same, but also then Massa and Sano, like,
oh yeah, the Massa fail is also like such a classic fail, you would say. It's only 7th here, but we had, of course, many good fails. Like also the Bren one was a huge fail, but it didn't matter in the end because he still won. But if he didn't, then definitely it should be higher up.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, just swap the ranking and I would take it. But well, last Type 1 by Muda. I mean, maybe it's because it's Deep Slip. Who knows, that people just voted for that or just didn't get the grasp of or the impact of Naiko's mistake, because he didn't end up winning this event actually. So that was also quite something. So the stuck with him quite a bit during this match. He got then 2nd position, of course, but that's definitely a fail because he missed the finish so thinly.
Let's check again. Yeah, then let's have a look at the winner.
Yeah.
Last Type 1. No.
And last said that it is impossible to fail in that section, which we will see later in Shinx of the Year. And yeah, Mata then also found a way to fail.
He played the map for almost 4 hours there, and it was a 15-minute run. So yeah, I mean, of course, it's hard to judge that, of course, but there a lot of more hours went into other of those mistakes, but I think you cannot really weigh them against each other. But that's what you guys have voted for fail of the year. Probably one of the biggest surprises that Marius and I have spotted when we went through the winners. Let's go to the next category, which is Bug of the Year. And here we also have a lot of nominations, of course. We have Elcon, who was in a seemingly impossible situation to come out of. He was on a scenery snow block, and he somewhat got away with it because he was stuck in between two trees and then still managed to escape it. Then, of course, we have Granadi at Red Bull Faster during the grand final. Then there's also a tutorial of how to fix the camera 7 bug when it's moving. Just good to implement that if you guys didn't know about that. So also a little bit of a different nomination in there. Then an invisible wall that I think happens to Demotivator in a Cup of the Day rounds where he just couldn't drive any further. He was just stuck and couldn't continue his run. And he was out anyway, but he was still on there. Then Giuliano also got a weird plastic bounce on Deep Slip. Somewhat of a very weird hitbox it was. His car was not, he was sideways, and it's still somewhat bumped up. Then Kake Reloaded 404, we nominated this one as Bug of the Year as the map itself. There's also a very nice video of this that puts you just behind the scenes of how this map has been created. Then Lars also got a bug fin on Kake Reloaded 420, where he hit the middle of one of the finish gates. And there's probably one pixel standing out there, so a bug finish in TrackMania 2020 is also possible, but very, very unlikely, of course. But Lars was able to get it. Then maybe a bug that also has been explained, because the hitbox on Vampus was a bit different, and Lars just got not affected by the booster, but this was consistent. That was maybe because there was another block mixed in there, so that could explain it. Then Scrappy also gets a bunny hop on Deep Slip. That is our next nomination. And then also the teleport from Virtual on Deep Slip when he tapped back into the game that put him all the way back.
Correct.
And the winner is... What a surprise.
Yeah.
Granadi at Red Bull Faster.
So how many
Yeah.
people might have voted for that? How close is it to 50%? Yeah, decent, but there are also some voters that actually didn't vote for it, like over 300. But you see, of course, a huge gap here. It's the triple of votes what a second place has, which
That's a
is
lot.
Virtual teleports on Deep Slip. In my opinion, also deservingly up there, because it's like a very crucial find, and was also abused a bit, and yeah, quite interesting. Also, the Kaki map is up here, also very deserved to be on the podium, but also this invisible wall bug, where we didn't really know what happened there, is an interesting bug that definitely also deserves to be that far up. Yeah, then the bug fin from Lars in 5th. Elcon with this incredible save, bugging through a tree on Deep Slip. Because he was stuck, and in Deep Slip it was difficult to lose your runs, but there it happened. Scrappy with a bunny hop in Deep Slip, then Giuliano also in Deep Slip with a plastic bounce. Lars not getting affected by a booster was probably some weird block mix or something, because parts of the booster actually gave boost, and he was just driving on the part where it does not affect you. The camera 7 bug then in last, even though I think that affected quite a lot of players. But of course, the video to it was then just how to fix it, but maybe that's also helpful for the one or other. Yeah. And let's have a look at the winner. It's a different clip in this case.
Maybe you want to turn down the volume a bit.
Maybe.
Das muss es sein. Wallahi, das muss es sein!
Komm, bitte. Save and steal.
BT ist im Bounce King.
Bitte kein Scheiß.
I met him today. I was at the Gamescom LAN. I met Relux. Spoke shortly to him. But yeah, this is Bug of the Year. And now we go to Funny Moment of the Year.
My ears, they're still recovering.
Yeah, okay, also let's, maybe I can go through this. We have here the accidental TrackMania shortcut by Granadi in a Cup of the Day, where he missed a corner, and then somehow outside of the track he got a plastic bounce and landed further on the track. It did overall cost him time, but he actually survived the round, which a normal respawn would have not done. Also a crazy luck moment for Granadi. Then we have Burley Pock and his live reaction when Alcon did the deep slip cut. Very memorable moment from last year. Alcon flying out of the deep slip tower, also with getting like a huge boost when he was stuck with the two back tires on the edge of a block. Granadi talking about his very famous clip from XP Evo. Joso Stair, also an XP Evo clip. Then we have Mada's ending on Machi's Multiverse, where he was just stuck there for a minute until the car finally decided to fly into the finish. Then Schenker's take on the new feature of the summer update. Just also very nice storytelling from him, where he tells us about a new update where you could create folders in the clubs, and however, one very important feature was missing, which means it was a very annoying work to do for him. Scrappy lands in an unlucky turtle. Just also the way it is clipped is funny. But also the moment itself is very unlucky for Scrappy. How he could die like that on the deep slip map. The World Tour maps and matchmaking by Bertie is a very funny clip. I saw also many streamers actually voting for that. Let's see what position it got overall. But yeah, always after Cup of the Day, and I think also after the reruns, you didn't play the campaign maps in matchmaking, but you actually played the World Tour maps when you have a high enough rank. And then sometimes people were in matchmaking that didn't know these tracks, but you spectated them how it looks like. It was quite funny. It was also nice camera work from him. And the world champion, Carl Jr., at pathfinding, there is already a legendary old clip on the Serrator map where Serrator fooled Carl Jr. And here Carl Jr. got fooled by the fact that it was map 8. And you would think it is a downhill map, but then it actually wasn't. At least not straight downhill. Those were our 10 nominees. And the winner here is Granadi talking about his bum. Actually won, and also with a huge lead over second place. We check the results again. Let's have a look at the clip, at the funny moment.
Guys, honestly, Spam just saved my ass. That's not the only thing he's gonna do with my ass today. He actually saved my ass.
Dude, Spam's reaction there is so good.
Yeah, it's just his reaction that makes this clip so good. Let's have a look at the results. Second place goes to the shortcut.
Oh, it was my turn. Sorry.
I thought that you maybe want to take over.
Okay.
I mean, you can
Okay,
still if you want.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. So 1,309 votes in this category, and of course 557 votes here for Granadi. I mean, that's a lot. But you guys also couldn't decide, because look how close it got between second and just third to 8, but you could also include second place with it, but just less than 100 votes in between that. And then also Yoso Stair and Muda's ending on Magi's Multiverse, they also got a lot of votes in there. And also a lot of people voted twice in this category, as you can see, because you were able to vote twice, of course, but still so close. Just a couple of votes decided if you're 8th or 2nd. So that is quite something, but you were quite decisive about the winner here, which is Granadi talking about his bum. So we had to take it a bit more family friendly for that one, of course. And let's move on to the next category, which is Jinx of the Year. So first clip is that Birdie qualifies to Red Bull faster. He was saying that he's just safe, but well, he was at the end, he was 101st. Then Granadi jinxing back-to-back, just a classic cast the curse where Granadi changes camera and people keep on crashing. Then we have a Cup of the Day round where Granadi went out and he spectated Lars, and Lars should keep entertaining the chat, but he then ended up crashing right at the moment where Granadi left. And then we also have the part where Lars said that you cannot fail it. That is alluding to the clip that we have seen beforehand. And well, eventually he has failed it. That was quite funny as well. Then we have the last run from Tommy Pitt, where he disconnected and also jinxed himself with that. And another clip on the list is that Pug claims to save the end, but then he ended up actually going out and not making it. Scrappy playing the Red Bull Faster map and foreshadowing the plastic bounce in there as well. So he, like, probably not all of you have watched the whole clip of it, but he foreshadowed it quite nicely where he said, surely this will not happen to anyone like that. But make sure to rewatch that clip. Also, if you want to see any of the other clips in those categories that we haven't shown on stream, maybe you have not caught the nomination reveal stream, you can go on the TrackMania Awards website. I'm going to link it in chat now, and you can take a look onto those clips here as well. And yeah, our next nomination is Spam. Why is my number one? He was surprised that he's first in the checkpoint, but this backfired quite a lot because then in the last checkpoint, he was actually in red position. He played a knockout in there, and I'm not sure if he actually went out, but yeah, I think...
No, it's the Red Bull one. He survived, of course, the Red Bull last chance.
He did, of course. And then Spam wanted to win back-to-back in Cup of the Day, and then also got a disconnect. That was also a very, very cool timing. And also Sano jinxing Novu, where he predicted when he's going to crash with a countdown. So also a very cool clip to see in Jinx of the Year. Those are 10 nominations. And let's see who actually wins it. The winner is... Lars, you can't fail this. So also we had the winner, Lars Type 1 and Fail of the Year. And now we have the Lars Fail that is the origin of that clip.
And
let's watch it.
Here we go.
This one definitely requires a good eyesight. The thing is, though, you can't really fail this one, it looks like. Yeah, you can't really fail that.
The edit is so good.
Yeah, we can also say the real winner in Jinx of the Year is actually Sartel, because this fail or this Jinx, of course, only worked thanks to his work to put the what Lars said and the fail together into one clip, basically. But second place is also Sartel. It's also a meme by Sartel. Also here, of course, when Bertie said that he will qualify, that is, of course, long before you see that he gets 100 first. So Sartel actually having the top 2 places, not in meme here, but also in Jinx of the Year.
Yeah, I agree. So good to see that good stuff. I mean, those were maybe then also the best clips to watch and got you a good laugh out of that one, but still a lot of votes for the other nominations as well. Look how close it is also here from second downwards. The Puck and also the Tommy Pitt clip didn't get that many votes, but still 93 and 72. Not too bad with 1,246 unique voters. So still good to see that everyone got a piece of the cake, even if it's just a small one.
Actually, this Tommy Pitt clip is for me one of my favorites because it was the game that reacted on what he said. Same for the Spam wants to win back-to-back. I actually like those two because it was like so unrealistic that the game has such a timing of a disconnect.
Yeah, also the Puck clip was awesome. I think I voted for that one. It was great.
The next section will be people, and let me remind you again that it will not end here after we are through with people. We have a few honorable mentions that we couldn't include in the award show, and also some interesting informations. It will not take too long, but it will not end after we are through. Yeah, surely.
Surely, Marius. You don't have to leave in 3 hours, okay?
All right, people, we start with the first category here, Content Creator of the Year.
Yeah, we have 6 nominations in here as well. I think we all know them. We all appreciate them. They have been all just bringing a lot of content to TrackMania in 2025 and will also do that in 2026. Bren, Granadi, Lars, Scrappy, Spam, and Virtual, our 6 nominations in here. So I think we all just appreciate our streamers in here and our content creators who bring us content on YouTube and Twitch. And the winner is Granadi. Congratulations to Granadi. Also 1,471 votes in this category. So votes have been going up again, but also 829 votes for Granadi. That is quite a lot. Just more than 200 votes ahead of Virtual. Then Spam on 3rd, Lars on 4th, Scrappy on 5th, and then Bren on last. But still, 231 votes for Bren. That is still a lot.
Exactly. And from these biggest streamers, we go now to the upcoming ones, where we have 8 nominees. So here, basically, streamers and YouTubers that have shown significant growth over the year. Starting here with Jadon, and then we have also Giuliano. He's, of course, already in the scene since a longer time, but last year he definitely had a huge boost, and also the amount of hours that he streamed is crazy. Nebula, also, especially with Deep Dip and the Reactor Cut, was also very popular. Then Pug. Then we have Rasi. Rasi actually very helpful on YouTube as he uploaded videos to all the EMEAs. Of course, those videos don't have too many videos, but it helped me for Match of the Year and so on to have something, to have some footage. Shield Bandit was sometimes very active and then also sometimes in the year not so active. But yeah, with his weekly short content, he got also lots of viewers and was growing significantly. Sano, obviously as well, and here has to be mentioned, even though I actually wait for an upload again from him, but on YouTube he is huge and his videos had 5-digit number of views, like definitely matching people like Granadi there on YouTube. And also on Twitch, of course, he got bigger, especially then during Kaki. And then we have Tiago, which is then a bit a surprise nominee maybe. It's still a rather small YouTuber, but he has some interesting ideas and creative projects that he does. All right. Yeah. The winner for the upcoming Content Creator of the Year is Sano. GG to Sano. And here are the results, and you will see there is actually the case that many people voted, made their 2 votes, but voted then always for Sano and Giuliano, almost always. Like many did that, this combination, and it was decided by 32 votes only. And then there's a huge gap to the other nominees.
But still some votes for them, of course. Tiago, I think, doesn't surprise us in last position. Of course, more of a unique content creator, but he finds his niche, or he just serves it very nicely. Razi, up and coming as well on 7th. So there's something for everyone in here. The Nebula also with a lot of votes, 282 on 3rd position. But yeah, as you said, Sano and Giuliano, both with over 800 votes in this category. And they really have, like, especially Giuliano has grown in 2025 significantly.
Our next category is the Caster of the Year. Here we had 6 nominations, that being Boni, then Geek, Nua Lok, or how do you pronounce it?
Nua Lake. I mean, it's the new lake.
Nua Lake.
It's
okay.
Yeah.
Petster, Randomize, and Turbo. All of them, of course, casted several big events throughout the year. You can check that again in the details for each nominee. And the winner in Caster of the Year is Turbo. GG.
Yeah, GG's. Of course, that's a bit of a weird one. But thank you everybody who voted for me. I think a lot of people connect me with casting, of course. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everybody who's on this list and beyond as well. We're going to go into that in the honorable mentions as well. They're extremely talented. And yeah, I really appreciate it winning it back to back to back. And yeah, just thank you. 694 votes. I really appreciate it, really.
Yeah, we have Geek followed and following second place, and then Noah Lake in third, and that's rather close here between third, fourth, and fifth with Boney and Randomize, and then Petstore also got over 100 votes here.
All right, let's come to our next category, which is community person. Of course, you know, it's usually people behind the curtain you don't really hear a lot from. So I was also contacting Cam for that and asked like, yeah, are those nominations fine? What should we sprinkle in? And he really helped out with that as well. So he's also nominated in here as well as Big Bang, Aibo, Import, Ansgar, Xertrov. And then we also had maybe a bit of an odd pair of nominations with Liquipedia editors and also Twitch moderators. So we went a bit different way in there. And let's see who the winner in this category is. It is Fix It Cam. It is Cam who wins it here in the Community Person of the Year category. But just beyond that, everybody got a lot of votes. Setrov on second place, of course, with 471 votes. Then Twitch moderators and Liquipedia editors also got a lot of votes in there with 356 and 308, followed up by Big Bang, and then Aibo, Ansgar, and Import, all crossing the 100 vote mark, but cannot surpass 200. So still some votes in there, but yeah, GG's to come.
GG. Let's move on to Team of the Year. Here we had 6 nominations, that being the 4 teams that were at the World Cup. Big, Jetlag, which was of course founded in that year, Solary, and Nemesis. Then we also included Shift because they won a lot of other competitions, mainly so tech competitions, but also other styles, where they were very competitive and very strong throughout the year. And of course, Shift is also a bit different. It's not like an org with like 2 players. It is like a real team. And then we have Gear 5, which is also a bit different, as they were organizing a lot of things, made a lot of happen already last year, but also, of course, this year with the TrackMania games. The winner in Team of the Year is Berlin International Gaming. GG, and here the results. You see, Jetlag got also quite a lot of votes. It's a 100 vote difference between the two. And then we got also Solary surpassing the 500. Then a small gap to Gear 5, Shift, and Team Nemesis in 6th place.
Yeah, so here, of course, a lot of votes for Jetlag, Solary, and Big. And Gear 5 also got a lot of votes. Shift and Nemesis on 5th and 6th, but still a lot of votes on the board for the organizations. And yeah, GG's to Berlin International Gaming. And let's move on to the next category, which is Skinner of the Year. And I think this is also very subjective. And we had 7 nominations in here as well. AQLX, Antoskins, Leviathan, Mars, Shumi, Tatauna, and Wizzy. And before we reveal the winner, you can again go on the TrackMania Awards website once we have revealed this category and click on details to see what kind of skins they have created. I think it's always very subjective of if you find a skin good or not that good, and you can just see what they have done in 2025. Let's see who the winner is. The winner is Shumi. And this was also the category with the least amount of votes, 1,069 votes in this category. And Shumi won it with 671 votes. Just ahead of Wizzy on second, who was 17 votes ahead of AQLX. And then look how close it was for 4th position between Leviathan, Tatauna, and Mars. Androskin just 30 votes away from them in last position.
Yeah. For the skins, by the way, I asked the skinner themselves if they could send me their personal favorite skins. So if you say there is a certain skin maybe missing in the collection, Here in this case, all the nominees were choosing themselves which skins they want to get shown. All right. Now we have it almost done with the recess reveal. Of course, it continues afterwards, saying it again. But for now, let's go to Classic Player of the Year. And here we got, players that were doing great things in the older TrackMania games, such as TrackMania 2, TMNF, Team United, sometimes also TrackMania Turbo, but this time we didn't have a nominee from there. And the nominees itself were, with Krajun and Rinte, 2 TrackMania United players. Rinte, of course, over all the cars and got lots of world records and got rank 1 in the solo leaderboard in TrackMania United forever. Krajun, however, got that clean sweep on the TrackMania United Island maps, where he got world record on each one of them. Then we have 3 players from TM, like from Stadium. 2 of them TMNF, with Raiso, who was extremely strong early in the year, got lots of world records, and Demon had also 5 new world records, but partly here he was beating himself there. Lufok then more in TM2 Stadium, but he also got 11 world records. And then the bit of special man in here is Fib, also Stadium, but he is of course here because he found so many cuts, actually 6 new cuts in TMNF and TM2 in the original campaigns. And he got also world record, of course, on those tracks with the help of the cuts, and only one of them got beaten back since then. The winner in this category,
let's see,
is Rinte. Rinte takes it ahead of Demon, Raisu, Lufok, and I am surprised, guys. You are maybe
I'm
also
disappointed.
surprised. Yeah, also disappointed maybe. I expected Fib actually to be also first or second. Rinte also deserves it, guys. It's crazy what of a year he had. 46 world records, I believe. Got rank 1 in the United campaign. Gets the world record on several tracks in Team 2020 that have the old cars. Also deserved winner, but of course expected Fib a bit higher up. It's very close between those Stadium players here for that second place. Second to fourth only divided by 13 votes here. And Krajun in last, but also still gets 211 votes here. Also it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad indeed. But Fib on 5th place. I mean, it was also close, one could say. But it's always hard to just kind of compare the results. I think most people know Rinte and Demon, of course, as well. And Rinte took it home at the end with 535 votes. Okay, let's go to the second last category. As Marius already said, we're not done with the award show after that. We're still gonna have our honorable mentions after that, so you can stick around for that as well. Our first nomination is Chudon in Most Improved Player of the Year. Just a lot of good results. First Cup of the Day win on the 7th of September. Then he also played the Glacial Ice Cup as well as the Obsidian Frost Cup, where he got 4th and 5th, 6th, but then also made it into the final at XP Ice, where he finished last in. And I think before that, he didn't even played competitively. Then we also have Jadon, who has been very successful in 2025. He was 1st in Trend on Track, 4th in Out of the Blue, 9th and 16th in the Big TrackMania Cup, and also had a very deep run into XP Evo, where he was 13th to 16th. 16th, my god. Our next nomination is Letsta. He got 1st at Comic-Con Baltics and barely missed out on the XP Evo Grand Final. He got 5th, 6th in there, and then also won a lot of tech events, the Molotov Short Tech Showdown, and also the Major Tech Series. Lord Quacked is our next nomination. He was so successful in the campaigns in 2025, where he got 2nd in the summer campaign 2025, 3rd in the fall campaign, 5th in the spring campaign, and 7th in the winter campaign. So those are a lot of really good results. And then also he got second in the seasonal country championship in winter 2025 and fourth in the seasonal country championship of spring and also summer. Our next nomination is Molle, who earned over $2,700 by winning 10 cups and getting 25 podiums position. So he has been grinding it out a lot in 2025 and is just improving ever since. Still a very young, talented player. So we've already seen what he's able to do in 2026. Our next nomination, another very known player, Naiko, who just signed with Foot, of course. He won RDS Cup Season 2. He got second at Insalan and then also third in the Big TrackMania Cup. So also worth mentioning, he's also still improving, as well as Neon, who has been playing a lot in 2025 as well. First in the OCD campaign, fourth in the Bayerische Duo Dash, fourth in the Spammy of the World Tour 2, fourth, fifth in the Logitech G Precision Challenge, and seventh, eighth in the TrackMania World Tour Global Playoffs 2 alongside Levon. Our last nomination on the list is a player from Russia, which is Nitek, who got fourth in the TrackMania World Tour Stage 2 EMEA 4, as well as 10th in the World Tour Global Playoffs 2, and finally 9th, 16th in the Big TrackMania Cup. And let's see who wins Most Improved Player of the Year. We had 1,331 votes in this category, and the winner is Letsta. Letsta takes it home here. And let's take a look how close it was. Look at the battle for second position. 8 votes tearing them apart. And also Letsta only 22 votes ahead of Jadon, who got second position. But Lord Quacked and Naiko are tied for P3.
Yeah, crazy close. The top 4 overall. Neon then a little bit in between. And then Molle, Nitek, and Shudon a bit further back. Nice to see that actually the campaign player was getting so many votes. I was not sure, but yeah, up to 421 votes, sick. And that means we will go to the last category here. And that is Player of the Year. The very best players from the whole year in this list. We will then also afterwards then reveal 3 more honorable mentions that you could also include. But I think it's also possible to make the cut here after the top 6. First of all, Bren. Like when we click on details, you can see it again. He won a few different things. Like he got the first place in the Big TrackMania Cup, and in Marchi Monday he was also first. And in the World Cup he of course got second together with Mada. So that's already a great result. I think the other ones here, only the second place in the Spammy of the World Tour is maybe worth mentioning. The Apex, of course, were expected to be won. Then we have Carl Jr. and like his year was again crazy. Getting first in the World Cup, getting first in Red Bull Faster, and second in XP Evo. That's crazy. Also won the global playoffs actually in the World Tour. And the America's Master season is of course not so known for most people, but it is the biggest thing in America, and he also won prize money there. It is also very contested. The other top results, of course, he won a LAN in Canada, took that also home, first also in the Spammy of the World Tour. Yeah, also sick year for Carl Jr. Elcon again, having completely different cups here. Of course, the Fast Learn GOAT, winning, for example, Out of the Blue and the Bayerische Duo Dash. Both Fast Learn competitions, got also second in Deep Slip, but he also won a training competition with Letzer together, the Comic-Con Baltics. Other than that, he has then several other results in XP Evo, for example. He was also in the consolidation final, getting 5th, 6th. Also in Red Bull Faster, he qualified to the offline event on a very strong fashion. And yeah, other top results, the Gravity Break is actually worth mentioning, because 2 players, the top 2, qualified into the XP Evo playoffs immediately with this, and the final was also very close. There were good players, and yeah, he took that home. And otherwise, he was, of course, the GOAT in the BYMC. Then we have Epos. Epos has to be in here due to his first place in XP Evo, where he was also extremely dominant. But it is not the only thing. I think the next very worth mentioning thing is actually here that he won 3 times the regional until he then stopped playing the regionals. But early on he was 3 times the winner there as well, and then also twice second. Also very, very good in the World Tour as well. And in the global playoffs, they were then actually third, Epos New Prime. He got also second in the Trend of Track and first in the Logitech G Precision Challenge. Then we have Granadi with a first place in the global playoffs of Team World Tour, which was the reason that Big actually went to the World Cup, where they then got a third, fourth. Other than that, he also, for example, got that second place in the Red Bull Faster, which could have been also a first place. And that alone is then, of course, already a very sick achievement. But of course, Granadi comes also with some other sick results. For example, in the Cup of the Day, he was very successful. And then Formula E, he won a race, got second in the season overall. And then Faster, of course, with the Spammy of the World Tour. Peck, the last one, of course, also a world champion from 2025. Got, of course, a few results together with Carl in here, but he also was third in Red Bull Faster, so it's where it's solo. So it's not just him with Carl. He also was third in Red Bull Faster, and he was a bit unlucky in the final. He also could have won that. Also definitely also deserves to be nominated here. Yeah. However, there is, of course, one driver that sticks a bit out this year, and that is Carl Jr., and he also got the votes from you guys. He won with quite a big margin, 926 votes for Carl Jr., and a very close battle for that second place, that Granadi was winning against Elcon, interestingly, and then also a battle between Epos and Bren for the fourth place.
Well, that was something here. So Pack on last position there as well. I mean, Pack did already have an impactful year. And when he showed up, he was prepared, but it wasn't quite enough for him to be anywhere else than the 6th position. But still, like, if you're on this list, and we're also going to go into that in the honorable mentions, because there were certainly players that we could have put onto the list. You're going to see that there could be more than that, but also third in Red Bull Faster is definitely a great result. But Marius, we went through the awards now, through the winners. So congratulations to all the winners, of course. And also thank you to you guys for voting. It's been a pleasure, of course, but we're still not done just yet.
Exactly. I created a Google Doc where I added, it's a bit wide, where I added some honorable mentions. Also, first of all, you see also the votes, how that developed. There early on, lots of votes. Then it was pretty consistent. Each day we got like 1,500. And then Granadi was going through and actually brought some more voters then again. Overall, you see here again the numbers, crazy numbers. Very proud of that. Thanks for voting, guys. And now to the honorable mentions, just for a few of the categories where we could say something about it. Mostly it's probably me now saying something until we get to Caster at least. First of all,
probably I can add some things here and there as well, but
yeah.
Well, let's go through the Mario's yapping. Let's do it.
Yeah, so for Player of the Year, we had only 6 nominees because we had that as a limit and we started with this category. But then later on, we went to like 8 or even 10 nominees. And if there was more time, we maybe would have added 2 or 3 here. Mada and Mime were both in the XP Evo final as well and were both in the World Cup. So that is, of course, also great. Mada, of course, second in the World Cup. Mime was third, fourth there. In the XP Evo, Mime was third and Mata fourth. Mime was just barely not qualifying to Red Bull Faster. Mada was there, but was eliminated in the semifinals. Other than that, Mada was also in the Big TrackMania Cup in the final. And Vosail was actually second in that Big TrackMania final, and he also won a few World Tour tournaments. As he was doing well there until he stopped playing them. For the most improved player, just saying we had now Lord Quacked as campaign player. We wanted to include one. The issue here was Lord Quacked didn't win a season, but It's Kreth won one, and he was also coming out of nowhere. And Lima was leading for a long time. Also when the year ended, he was leading in the campaign that went a bit longer than that went also into this year. So both of these players also could have been mentioned, but we decided then for Lord Quacked in that case. But yeah, these could have been also in. For the Classic Player of the Year, we have some United players. There were two main competitions in United, and one of them being the United Masters that are also running right now. And there was a lot of prize money, and Drim won that and got like a lot of prizes. And Sander won the other big solo competition, but Drim didn't participate in that, while Sander was not participating in the United Masters, so it was a bit difficult. I didn't really want to include both of them then. Me, of course, won the one Canyon tournament that existed. And he also got a few Nadeo world records. And this guy here is like a new face. He got like 11 world records in Valley, or 10 world records. Also this year he already got some few more, so maybe you include him in the next TM awards. Yeah, now to the casters, Torbo.
Yeah, the casters were one of the categories that we have finished, and it was very hard for us to just distinguish of who to implement there, because one could say that Spam, Virtual, and Lars, they are also casters in that way. So you could put them in there as well. But we decided against that because they're mainly for us content created are not sheer casters that like cast in front of a production. Maybe Virtual does that, but then he was also not covering too many events. You can also mention Medic, of course, who was doing a lot of stuff, or just one event actually, and not a lot of stuff. So if he has maybe had casted the World Cup or other stuff, we would have mentioned him or just probably nominated him as well. And yeah, we wanted to go for 6 nominations at first in every category. That was the goal. But in some of them we also had 12. And yeah, it was very hard. But players or like casters that he could definitely put in onto the list as well are Legion and also Twiggy. Both of them had a really good year as well. I've worked with both of them together. They're very talented. Legion also has been casting the XP Evo Grand Final, of course, alongside Geek. And then Twiggy also at TrackMania Games, for example, that's in 2026. But he then also was one of the leaders in there who really gave us advice and all of that stuff. So that was awesome. So those are 2 casters to be mentioning there as well. But of course, there's a lot of up-and-coming casters in the scene as well. And I cannot wait to see new faces in there. I mean, at BTL Winter, for example, I worked together with Yug and Beamsy as well. They're very good casters as well. And yeah, if you just want to start your casting journey, just go ahead, boot up the stream, do it. And happy to see new faces in there as well. So yeah, it was just very hard to find 6 casters in that regard.
All right. And now we have some clips to watch. Also the thing is, we have several clip categories, as you know. Some round-based ones, the good rounds, the funny rounds, some fails, some snipes. And then, of course, we had also some funny clips. But what is with clips that are good, but are not really the moment of the year? They're just good clips, but not really necessarily funny. It doesn't really fit into funny. It's just good clips where people do something cool or interesting. And that is exactly what this is about. We didn't really have a category for some of these nominees. And because of that, these 5 clips we gonna watch now.
Anyone who would
this year is Sano finishing an alternate Nadeo. Look at the Queen timer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he also made a YouTube video about that. He just
Anyway,
became insane on this map,
that's my
one could
rant
say.
about
And 26 hours for a Eurobug on an altered Nadeo map. Just to get the AT. Well, but he got it. He made
just
it
not
possible.
thinking, wow, this is a cool map.
But what a grind.
Anyone who
Like, that was crazy. Also, very good video from him, actually, from Sano there. And yeah, we also have another clip from Giuliano, who also has beaten an unbeatable AT. And of course, he hunts a lot of those. And you can see what kind of trial or map he has to play here in the end. And I mean, he still had 2 minutes left, but let's just take a look onto the finish on this map.
Oh, why does it jump me to the side though? Oh, go! Go! Go!
Look how tight it is.
Ah, there we go!
Yeah. So then we have Elcon, and this is so crazy, you guys. Elcon is doing random map challenge, and he stumbles upon a yeet map. For the normal TrackMania player, the random map challenge run would be over now. Not for Elcon.
Yeah. Random map challenge at its finest.
Trip.
Chill trip.
Dude, just go, maybe. What is this?
Oh.
Wait, I'm the goat.
What a round. It's incredible.
Like how Elcon? Like what is this? Explain.
That's unfair. Elcon is just one of a kind player.
Then we have Mada flexing at Red Bull Faster. You have to know his opponent was already in last chance, basically. Also lost all the time. And Mada only had to make sure that he doesn't lose, also that he doesn't lose so much time that he also runs out of time. So he could have done the safe finish on the ice map of Red Bull Faster. But then he decided to just flex and go for the risk as well. Which is risky. I would never do that.
And Wolfstyle has a chance, but it really
But it was a cool moment.
Whether or not Nada wants to impress the crowd. I don't think he should. I'll be honest, I know I cheered for it, but the save... Oh, he's going for it! Oh, dude! Oh, he manages to land it. That could have given up everything. Mada lands it in the end, takes the first place, the 58.
Who does that, Medic? Who takes the risky fin when you can just save?
It's the Thunder from down under.
Yeah, also very great moment from Mada there. And then we have a crazy clip that was also a long time, could have been a nominee, but yeah, is it now a funny moment?
We didn't know where to put.
Yeah, we didn't really know where to put. It's like, that was the issue with this clip, but the clip itself is incredible. I'm not sure if it was BYMC Bon Cup, but I believe Bon Cup. And
yeah, I think it was Bon Cup.
The round looks dead.
Uh-oh, that's bad. Oh no,
Look
I'm
at
dead.
this.
Wait, save it?
He's
Crazy
79th.
save. Like 4 seconds behind, by the way, as well. Sliding on his roof, a lot of reactor boosts, and then a nice reactor flight
Holy shit! Holy
to
shit!
the ending.
Holy shit! Yo! Tack! Third place!
Getting thirds.
Easy third place!
Also you have to see that in this part here, the normal way was really slow in that section, and there was also an AO8 where it didn't really have speed to overjump everything, and that he kept the reactor and got it here while being on the roof, and actually starting a reactor jump was a huge cut for that whole section.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
But that he got third after what happened to him is crazy. Also yeah.
6 seconds behind.
These are some interesting clips, and now, yeah, we forgot one video. I actually also didn't realize that until Granadi went through the awards, and his first thing was, where's my video? Yeah. Granadi's story about the perfect cup of the day. It just happened. The Google Sheet is full of things now, but I didn't note this down. When it happened, I noted the video down at the achievement and at the story, but I didn't note it down at video of the year and then just forgot it because it was not on that list. But this is exactly why this Google Sheet exists, because in most cases it helps so that you don't forget stuff like that. This should have been, of course, a nominee, probably then instead of the trailer from the 5th anniversary. Was a bit unfortunate, was our mistake, but here it's mentioned now again. Of course, a great video where he also goes behind the story with Mada's first time getting a perfect cup of the day and how he tried to get it a few cup of the days where he missed it by 1 round until it finally worked. Yeah, the next one here is RPG Trial Map of the Year. There was also the suggestion to maybe do 2 categories out of that, RPG and then also Trial, especially since you cannot compare them too much, all of them. One map that actually didn't make it into the nominations, which is crazy, is Wampus 9. It would have been the 13th nominee, and like I don't know what else we should have deleted out of our 12 nominees to put Wampus in. It was, unfortunate now for Wampus. There are also some other interesting maps. There was a map, the Grand Rooms. It had, I don't know how many rooms that were, but you went from room to room and every room had a different style of map. There was a very interesting map as well. And then some people might remember the King's Treasure. I think it was also part of the Nebula RPG Cup, but I'm not completely sure. It is a TM2 map where you had to find like secret spots basically, and then exit in the end. Like you had to find treasure. Many streamers streamed it. Maybe you remember. Also, in theory, an interesting map, but would have been Team 2. For unique map of the year, there is this map. There is a weather forecast. Yeah, there is another weather forecaster that can pronounce it much better than myself.
It's a commute in Wales, so
yeah, exactly. It's a city or whatever.
It's 4 hours away from Dublin.
Anyway, this was also a big event hosted by Virtual, I believe. It is a long map, like 3 minutes something each round, and Virtual hosted a big knockout on that. So many people also drove that track, and has of course a unique map name. Couldn't take it in, wouldn't have fit. I don't know how that would look like on the website. Yeah. Track of the day of the year. I added here one more map by Squeakle. Of course, the winning map was a Squeakle map, which was also a Nesca map, but he had a second map, which also is up there in the awards, and also in the quality, also stunning scenery, but it would have been a second Squeakle map, it would have been a second Nesca map, so I had to choose one of the two, and the other map by him is just much more known, because this map was played in Cup of the Day at a day where nobody was really streaming it. It was a really unfortunate moment. But however, Lars was streaming it later on, because this map also includes a hidden RPG route. Yeah, also a great map by Squeakle, but yeah, we only took then one map from him. Similar scenario with the world record of the year. There was a feedback about not enough campaign world records in world record of the year category, because campaign records are often very hunted. The thing is, we had one campaign record, which was Giuliano on map 25, the very long map. The second best campaign record, in my opinion, is this one. And it is also by Giuliano. And that would have been a second Giuliano. But yeah, it is from an older campaign, where he hunted with Virtual for a long time, but now he actually got the world record, and like look how many hours he invested into this, and he had that huge fight with Virtual, but now he's actually beating it not just by a bit, he's completely crushing it. Also this is also an unreal world record.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, could have definitely been in there, and also look at the gap. Like Techie also went onto the hunt, but then it's half a second between second and fourth. But yeah, Giuliano was on a very good run. I
Oh
think
my
there was
God.
also a good video about this, if I recall it correctly.
Oh my God,
but
oh
he
my God, oh my God.
destroyed it. 11
Oh
more
my
speed
God.
in the end.
Oh my
It
God.
really snowballs into there. And Zack, a 0.1.
Yes.
0.1 ahead of Virtual.
Oh my God.
Getting this run after 120 hours is quite something. So very good time there. And then there's another world record that we slept on. And this one is, of course, a bit unusual.
Yeah, so we had,
maybe
of course,
some
this,
of you...
we had this
Yeah, go
island
ahead.
world record in the awards, and in the United Discord, someone said he would have rather liked to see this one, which I must say is also, I think, the next best option. Would have been close, like I had to decide between the two. This here is a Rinte world record where he found a trick, and this trick gave him a bit more speed, and that overspeed resulted, you see here a ramp, in a ramp cut that he could then make, and with that he gained then even more time. Let's have a look at it.
It's a beautiful record, really.
So it starts quite normal. The special thing happens now, where he found this jump against the building, making a nice spin and landing in the downhill, getting more speed and then making this crazy barrel roll with the bay car. And now in the comparison, you will see the difference that it made, because the old world record is just straight jumping, and he's also hard, but Rinte has a bit more speed, and this is the reason why he can do this low jump and actually beats the old world record by half a second with that. So that would have been the next best United world record, definitely. And then we also have the Logitech hunt by Epos. A clip can be found still on the tournament website, you can say, because everyone had to upload clips there. That's of course a crazy record by him, but the clip that he uploaded started with him being 2/10 ahead of his old PB and crashing it. And right after that fail, he actually drove the world record that is still standing to today. But that world record was only 100 faster than his older PB. So the clip with the world record already unveils that there is 2 more tenths to gain, and that is why it didn't make it into the nominations. Even though he, of course, beats a lot of other strong players and many people were hunting that. This here is a small thing that we also had in the details. Schmanuel not only finished Final Enigma, he also finished Fallen Angel, which is this Intex map here in Team 2020. We will not show the full run, but yeah, it's a very transitional full speed map, and this is also a great achievement, because I think that Schmanuel is the only one that managed to beat this map. There is another version of the map with multiple checkpoints, but yeah, he managed to get the original. Here's the last jump, let's go into it. And yeah, we couldn't really take both achievements, Final Enigma and this. Decided for only Final Enigma, which also won, of course. But this here is also a sick achievement from Schmanuel. A few performances, weekly shorts. To get nominated, it would be interesting if someone manages to get 5 world records. You can check out Susuvi in week 15. He was top 3 in all the 5 maps. And especially Hafez, if you remember, in week 32, he got 4 world records. But the 5th map he couldn't. If he got all 5, I think he would be in Performance of the Year. Elcon is in Red Bull Quali is similar to the Schmanuel thing. We mentioned it, but it didn't get its own nominee because we had Elcon with a similar nominee already. But in the Red Bull qualifier, where only one driver, only the winner, qualified to the offline event, Elcon won and kept all his lives. He had all his full lives still. He did lose 1 life, but regained it later on. And
1 versus 1, Elcon did make a mistake. Is he gonna stay clean
you
now?
see, he still has the maximum of 3 lives, and Bren is at 1 and gets knocked out as well. Massa was 3rd here. Also great opponents, but Elcon didn't lose a single life. You can skip a bit forwards, maybe.
Daring to go left-hander. He will
Yeah, Bren made a mistake here, and then it's done for Elcon. And then Rasi also has to be mentioned because he won 3 matchmaking seasons in a row. There are some Twitter links here where Nadeo posted the results. And yeah, GG to Rasi about that. That's actually a crazy achievement. I was wondering if he will also get the 4th one, but there he didn't try. But there are 3 matchmaking wins in a row, also crazy. For online event of the year, one honorable mention is the Puzzle Together event that Yannick hosted, where 4 drivers had to drive together. Each of the drivers decides for a car, 1 stadium, 1 desert, 1 snow, and 1 rally. And then you have to, with collisions on, work together to finish the map. Really cool event. And yeah, we didn't really get it into one of the categories here, but I wanted to mention it again because it is a very good map. It is a very interesting event because you play it together with others. And the world record almost had also a shot for world record of the year from this map. Emote of the year.
Maybe I can do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. I'm still here, guys. Hello. But no, I think it's good because I mean, Marius has this big Excel sheet, and he has been doing most of the work. I of course added some stuff myself, but most of that is from Marius. And just pats on back to you, Marius, who did an incredible work. Without that, the TrackMania Awards would have not been happening like that. So I mean, I'm just getting out of myself because we still come to the closing words after that. But for Emote of the Year, we did not really know of what to put there because I think it's not us to judge that. And it's also hard to really say, okay, when was an emote like introduced into a certain community? Pferdbeere and PP Hard were like ideas that we had in mind. Then there's also LOL, maybe I think it was from 2024. But this was really hard, and we probably need some more help in this regard next time, where we maybe just do it live on stream or something like that. But this was definitely not so easy to do for us, so that's why we decided to just not include this category in the awards.
Correct. Yeah, that is just difficult. Also, generally, and yeah, then let's move on to the last few things. Also we have a few more honorable mentions, then come interesting facts, but that are not many. Also that are just a few. The regular cup of the year, spammy of the day, of course, but was not really regular enough. I think it is not like it's always a short notice if it happens on a day or not. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, the cups that we took, they have like a time plan, I would say. One new competition in United is the Word of the Week. Word of the Week, however, was also, but then again not regular, hosted by Granadi in Team 2020. Was, however, also a consistent like way to often host a competition by him. Sepik, however, wanted to just name him here because he did a lot of things in the United community. A lot of unlimited stuff as well, but also without unlimited crazy maps. And he also hosts this tournament, but also hosted another tournament for some time. So he's also a community person, to be fair. So wanted to name him. Otherwise, I have a few very short clips of unlucky and lucky moments. The unlucky moments, with one exception, are deep slip. Also, yeah, are deep slip related. Also, the lucky moments, deep slip. Basically, when I went through all the deep slip clips, there were, of course, moments where the runs were ended for people. If you remember, on deep slip, you didn't die that easily because you always landed somewhere and there was often water and like under the ice, so you always unturtled. And to actually have a run dying, it requires some creativity. And here are some examples of how runs died to certain players. First of all, we have
Och nein, Elcon also on the
Elcon.
tower.
Don't die to stupid shit.
Nein, Elcon, nein. This part is easy. This part is legit easy, Elcon. What can you even die here to? This part is legit easy. Okay. There is a
Okay,
pool.
Granate Yapping, we go further.
That's crazy, bro.
Ja, also Elcon on his roof, on the wall. Then Mother stops moving. Like,
Mada also had a default movement.
Here we go.
There's water. Oh,
Oh,
like, what?
it's moving.
We're gonna see a default movement clip of myself later as well.
There we go.
Oh. No, wait, don't tell me he
No.
died. Nah.
he waited probably long to get to that water pool
No.
underneath.
Don't you dare go the other way. Don't you dare.
No, he's
Don't you
not
dare
going the
to
other
go
way,
the
but
other
he's
way.
like stuck on the... Oh, nah. Okay, I did actually drop. I can
Okay,
spoil you
still
that
going
much.
this way.
Yeah, also also an unlucky way to die. Then we have Granadi behind the sign. Watching himself.
Yeah, Elcon
That's
hat-
fun, actually.
Nein. Oh God, why? Oh nee, where am I? Step bro, I'm stuck. Like, that's actually crazy, man. How did I land in here?
Then we have Kevin with a pretty unfortunate moment. A very funny one
And it
though.
was a 4-0 long run. What the fuck is this? It happened.
Oh.
No.
Oh my god. Also, like, next, we also thought about
he
just
actually dead?
having deep slip categories, but this
thing
would
is
have been
virtual,
too much
Lars-
work to just being done by, like, just us. So that's why we decided to scrap that idea. But you can see that there's, like, so many more good clips.
Yeah.
But most of you probably have watched those compilations anyway, so...
This is super unfortunate. Look at the middle of the screen. Scrappy gets, with that touch, an engine off.
Can we ban the mappers? I have engine off. Wait, where did he get? Ban the map? Huh?
Okay, that's an interesting one, actually.
Nah, but that I'm saying it. I'm saying the line. I'm saying the line. That is so unlucky. That is so unlucky. I'm saying it. It's an wait, this is an upside down freewheel block. I think, right?
Wow.
Yeah, and he clips it with the back tire right on the pixel on the edge. No way. that
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You have to be creative to die on that tower. Scrappy found a way. Also, Semifying found an interesting way. When he thought, everything fine, I will slow down. Also, he doesn't make the jump, he aborts, now he has to get back over the booster. He knows he cannot go too fast, so he goes against the wall. And he's still overwalled into the tunnel. And this tunnel is not connected to anything.
Wait, can you get out? No, you cannot get out. You have 100%
be a way out of this.
100%
There
water.
better be a way out of this. Otherwise, I'm actually tilted. I'm so mad if I can't get out of this.
No, you cannot get. I don't think you
quitting
can.
for the day, I think.
Can you?
You're kidding me. You're trolling me.
Oh, you might be able to send it here.
I think you can make that, no?
I think you can try that, but I don't think that you will get it.
Maybe because of the water wheels.
Yeah, that also. Lars stuck on booster is a short clip, I think.
Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, happens. Lars clip.
Full focus.
Oh, this part I don't know yet. Zero, you cannot park here. Oh, I've seen this though. Never mind, I've seen this.
That's a very bad spin. Yep.
New PB! Congratulations, Lars. New PB.
Really?
And last but not least, we have a non-deep slip clip. Max Truck was reaching the Cup of the Day final and his pad disconnected immediately at the start.
Bro, what are you doing?
I think something was...
Fantastic! I love Cup of the Day!
Alright, here we go. The grand finale of today's Cup of the Day. Max
Also
Truck
good edit
versus
there,
Rexos.
actually.
Who's gonna take it? Where's the other car? He disconnected.
What are you doing? My controller. You get to Cup of the Day final. You play 21 rounds in a row perfectly, beating the best in the world. And in the final, your controller disconnects. So you press forward into the rocks.
Yeah, unlucky. But we have also two lucky moments. Scrappy can also be lucky sometimes. Another deep slip clip that was pretty known, pretty famous.
Hi, Scrappy.
I keep failing.
Okay, what is bro doing? Oh, very
no.
unsmooth.
I got double plus.
What? How did he survive that?
Let's,
Oh
let's
my
watch
God.
it again.
Nice one. Wicked by
I didn't know
Scrappy.
that
keep
one,
failing.
actually.
Okay, what is bro doing? Oh, very
no.
unsmooth.
I got double plus.
What? How did he survive
Also, the
that?
plastic bounce was so lucky. Everything.
Full skill, guys.
Wow.
Sure.
What the fuck? That was like triple, double XCD bounce. Wait, I have to see that again.
I keep
And the last one is virtual. This may be not as spectacular, but he was hitting a lamp that saved him.
Lamppost
I think the
saved run.
first stopping thing I had was rare.
Grass. Why is there grass on my ice map? Disgusting. Oh, that was actually crazy. Dude, he would have shot off like into nowhere. You probably want to ice slide.
Also, look how far up he
Ice
is.
slide,
I
so
think
he
that
was, like,
makes
having
it
a bad
even...
line.
Yeah,
Also,
this is
I don't know. Also,
yeah.
I don't know where
14,
he would've
15.
put- Honestly, if... Naja.
Alright, and now some last interesting facts, guys, before we are finished with the TM Awards. Most of them go pretty quick. Also, first of all, we have an incredible achievement by Dani, who finished 9 circles of Neo Slides, which is a 9-lapper of a super long Neo Slide map. Look at the CP counter on the top right. And this is just one
Times
lap.
9.
Yeah, times 9.
Yeah.
And
It's
here
done.
he finished it with an
Am I sliding the
106
Bob propaganda does not exist.
hour. Wait, no.
It's done. It's
Yeah, 106 hours, yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Because I played one lap of this, I think back in 2021.
It's done.
And yeah, it took like 14 hours or 12 to 14
days.
hours.
Oh,
And well, he just did that times 9. And yeah, it's a map from Chem, actually.
Also crazy achievement there. Also a crazy achievement, Josh. He got a quadruple last year on the 6th of June. Here's the world record replay. So the quadruple means that he won the Cup of the Day, the Cup of the Night, the Cup of the Morning, and also got the world record. Of course, it's a full speed map where he achieved that, but like there are also other full speed maps where there are some others. Oh, he actually had to cut. I didn't watch this actually. I just searched for the video earlier. Probably he had to beat Elcon for that quadruple here. Elcon is always hunting full speed cuts. GG to the quadruple. Then there were 2 times it happened that 2 track of the days by the same mapper were coming after each other in a row. It happened first in April, where 2 maps by XPPHX were coming after each other. And then, this was however more intended by Nadeo. Lars and Shorty built a map together that we played forwards on the one day and then backwards on the other day. So this map also was played twice in a row. Then we have Sin, and this is an important one, guys, because every year I was asking TV, or now Vorados he's called. He has some statistics about Cup of the Days, Track of the Days, and so on. And I asked him every year, is that streak still going from Sin? Because Sin was having a streak of top 100 placements on Track of the Days without a break. Every single day, top 100 on Track of the Days. No matter the style, he was always top 100. There was another guy, Happy Wok, earlier with a really long streak where I thought, yeah, this will not be beaten. But no, Sin went to 1,000 top 100s in a row. That streak started on the 26th of January 2023 and ended on the 21st of October 2025. 1,000 Track of the Days in a row, top 100. I still remember Happy Wok's streak ended on the 1st of April by getting 100 first. And then he never played the game again, by the way. Yeah. But Sin just ended it there on his own, and he counted it himself, apparently. Then we have an interesting raffle. Yeah. This is from the Frontiers RPG event. People could finish the RPG map, and depending on their medal, their name appears then a few times here in this circle. And they crowned 2 winners, and the first winner was Christina here, gaining I don't know how much, a bit of money.
Chris wins one.
And then they did the next one.
And guess who won there? Kurisu Tina won again.
Yeah, also both of these random raffles went to the same person here.
That's lucky.
Yeah. Then Charles had an interesting cut on a World Tour map. Let's have a look at this. He posted it on Twitter. If he would have done that in a real one, cut of the year. Maybe.
Yeah.
There was strong
I'm not
contention.
sure if it's I'm not sure still if it's like that much faster, or if it's even faster.
Yeah.
Because the flight in the end is so slow,
but it looks
here,
cool.
It looks very cool, yeah.
So then we have the story with Nothinger. That was also a thing last year. That would have been maybe something for story of the year, but maybe also not. You see it here the best. These are the matchmaking results of spring 2025, and there are many Polish dudes in here. Nothinger, you see him here another time, and also these, I think it's always him in the top 10 here, flooding that. There was also, people were talking about this. Then this weekly shorts week had 6 cuts and a 6 world record. So we just watched the full video this whole week. It was won by Virtual, so it's probably very memorable still for some of you. But
there's also a nice video from him, actually, on YouTube.
Yeah. Also, most of the tracks have cuts here, and the last record by Virtual was also contender for world record of the year. First map had this cut. Second map. Then also with several cut ideas. I know at the beginning everyone wanted to jump down through the fences, but then this was found and was much faster. The third map is of course pathfinding anyway, so I don't know how much you can speak of cuts here. But we have a funny skin at least.
Yeah, Among Us skin. Also very precise map. The no slide in the end.
This here is also crazy with the cuts. Especially everyone does a different cut, kind of. A different way of cutting. Corny gets a yeet here. and goes this way, but there is also another. Like you see, some of these cars in the end still had reactors, others didn't. And this could have been world record of the year, because Virtual was the only one that figured out that you can do this jump. And he also got a very good reactor, and he has a huge lead of 1800s to the next player. Yeah, was in contention as well. One of the best weekly short world records, probably. Especially always interesting when someone is the only person to find a certain line trick.
I really like this campaign though from the weekly shorts. They were very fun to play as well, right? So very, very good. And I mean the record from Virtual, I mean it also is in the video. This was very nice that he found this. I think it even took him like quite some time to even like get the run through.
So then we have a world record in TrackMania United on a very short and easy map, and there was an interesting cut found, or trick rather, which is actually overwalling here and overwalling back. And this is actually faster. This is a similar feeling to me as when Roland found this trick in the wall ride multi-lap map in TMNF, where he then just jumped from the one wall ride to the other. It looks so logic. I mean, he spares airtime, but that it actually works to create a lead out of that, to get it that
looks so
way.
easy.
Yeah, it looks easy. He had some pressure in the last turn, as you see here. He lost a bit of his lead, so the world record could be improved. But the trick was crazy. So this
Good
here
luck
was,
going for it.
Yeah. This here was actually mentioned from you guys in the Discord. Someone said that on the two maps from the Spring 2021 campaign, map 12 and map 17, both of these maps from an old campaign had a new world record on the exact same day, March 15th, and then also both using a reactor cut. So if you want to know which maps that were, first of all, we had a very famous map, this one here. I think I will skip to the interesting part, which comes after this corner. But yeah, you can just wonder how likely is it that the same campaign even, yeah, but such an old campaign that there are new world records on the same day. And then both also featuring reactor, of course, reactor shenanigans. So this was the one world record. The other one here by ARPA is not really a cut though. It's like a trick, you can say. Skip a bit forwards, it's after this corner, where he makes a trick here with the border.
And then gets a zoom.
Yeah, and if you watch the comparison to see that, he's a bit behind Mime, but he had to get a good run. And this is what happened.
Mime skin as well.
Yeah, another
Among Us skin.
Mm. Yeah, and then also a very great thing here. Naughty Pratan is also a streamer, and he had a charity event. We apparently cannot see this now if I'm not sub, but we can check out this here. We raised $10,000 for charity against world hunger. Sound bit bugged cause cuted out music.
Yeah, that's his title.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
his title.
I know. But yeah, this shows what he did, and they did that. Yeah, $10,000 for the charity against world hunger. Actually, also a huge thing from a TrackMania streamer. Really cool. Was also happening last year. Then Shengar posted in the Discord the Bon Cup had 49 editions in 52 weeks, which consisted 675 unique maps. Nice.
Thank you, Shengar.
Thanks. Then we have Hobbit in the campaigns. Hobbit, yeah, I was also wondering, could you ever put him in Player of the Year? Because usually you have only esport players in Player of the Year. But, I mean, he got second, third, first, and first in the 4 campaigns. it is almost impossible to get it better. Yeah, also 4 times first is very unlikely. That's but probably he would be even able to get that. He was then obviously first in the trophies, also exceeded. There's 1 0 missing. So exceeded, what is this? 400 million points. Yeah, also crazy year from him as well in the campaigns. And last but not least, the 20 Cup. There is a small story. The 20 Cup is this competition, happens every Monday at 2020, where your goal is to be as close as possible each round to 20 seconds. The players that are finishing the closest to 20 seconds gain the most points. And if you hit it perfectly, you immediately win the cup. If you get a 20.000 on the 1000. And Lanz is a TrackMania United player mainly. And there's also a cup where always the closest player to 6 minutes gets like mentioned in the results. And he's always just going for that. Every edition he's going for that. And I told him then about the 20 Cup because he does it already in United. So why not here? No? And then he joined. And what does he do? In the very first cup that he played, he of course had no strategies or anything. He was far back in points. But of course it had to be Lanz in this edition that got a perfect 20.000 time. It was such a typical moment. Someone joins for the first time and just gets the perfect time. And yeah, another one, it's a small clip from myself, was actually an edition of the 20 Cup with over 100 players because Virtual participated in here. And you see, you play until 50 points. Each round, the 5 closest get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 points. The top 3 were already through. And I got now 49. I needed 1 more point to get 4th place overall. And we can skip a bit forward. I have my setup here on the map in order to get close to 20 seconds. And while being 1 single point away, I got the perfect time when 1 single point was needed, I got 55.
So you got 104 points then?
Theoretically, yeah. But it only matters in which order people surpass 50. The first one got a perfect time and got 55 and was through. Yaya got it by just gaining points every round. This one was again a perfect timer. And I just got all the way to 49 points and then came the perfect time at that moment. It was quite funny. Yeah, and here it ends. This was the last one of the interesting facts. Here again, all our honorable mentions. And yeah, that marks the end of the TrackMania Awards 2025. Thanks for watching, guys. It was a lot of work, but I'm happy with the result. And I'm already working on next here maybe Torpo can send you the Google Doc and the Google Sheet again in the chat. We can show you the
Searching
Google
right now.
Show you the Google Sheet. So we are already adding stuff for 2026. Several categories have already way too many things marked down, and we are only in March. So that will be, again, very difficult when you will have to select just a few amount of nominees. Some things are already marked red, where I think that is a guaranteed nominee. And if you miss something here, you can write it in our Discord channel. There's a TrackMania Awards Discord channel. I think now in the next days, we will also clean all the channels. And then you can basically submit your votes for 2026. Also submit nominees, submit ideas for nominees, basically. Of course, many things I check out myself. I was even watching here several LANs now, or videos of them, to see how the matches were, if there was anything close or something. But if you figure out something that is not in here, or you just want to tell, you can do that then in the Discord. That helps a lot, because then things are not getting forgotten. Oh, any final
Yeah,
words,
well, that
Torbo?
marks. Yeah, that marks the end. I mean, Marius, you're just the GOAT when it comes to the TrackMania Awards. But it took just so much time. It was like we started with this, like I think beginning of December, and now it's mid of March. And yeah, it was a very long project. A lot of time went into this, a lot of effort. Also, just seeking the nominations that we think would go in. But you can also see it in the Google Sheet. It was a lot of work. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching, of course, as well, for voting that much. I mean, I think it was a great success having over 2,000 unique people voting in those categories. And yeah, but it was like we spent so many hours on that. Oh man, that was definitely quite something. I mean, for next year, we probably need your help. And yeah, because doing it as two, like over like 30 plus categories is, yeah, it takes a lot of time. That's why the award show only happened on like at the beginning of March, because it took a lot of time to do all of that stuff. But I still had a lot of fun. It was great. And I'm always happy to help out after missing out on this last year for the 2024 awards. And yeah, I just thank you for watching, everybody, and for voting. And also thank you thanks to you, Marius. My God, my words are leaving my mouth uncontrollably, for hosting the stream, for having the courage and also the discipline of having the sheet just up to date after every event and after every incident that is happening. Without you, the awards would have not happened, and we could not celebrate 2025. Even though not everything can be considered, we also just two people working on this together, of course. But we tried our best, and I think it worked out very nicely.
Yes. Let's go last time here, scrolling up the list here with all the winners. It was a bit, yeah, a bit much Red Bull, of course, and Tower Maps often also voted high up. But stuff makes also sense, because people just remember certain things a lot. And then if there are nominees that people don't know that well, then you have to expect that these things are getting less votes, even though they are also cool. But in that regard, it is just good to get nominated here, because yeah, some nominees probably will never have a chance then in winning the votes if they are just a bit more niche. But just be happy that it's nominated, that it's not forgotten, and it got shown to everyone again. And that's of course also a cool thing. Yeah, we are now here in the events, and now come the, also we have also the videos, the TASes, cut of the year deep dip. Classic world record was AO1 race, that was also a TAS winning deep dip virtual. And then we got some rounds here, snipe and comeback. Of course, the one Red Bull faster round won actually several categories as expected. For example, also in Battle of the Year, we have that battle. Yeah, all right. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you then next year, hopefully, for the awards for 2026, where we have surely a lot of great stuff from EWC and TM games and so on. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.